gonna start the stream. We're live on TikTok. We're live on the YT. Need to make sure I grab the chat over here. What's good, chat? Good morning. Good morning. Any questions? Let me know. Anything you need me to go over for the day, guys? Let me know. As always, we're gonna start this session with updating our charts before we get to the live trading session. So, as you guys know, we'll be going over the pairs you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AUD USD, finishing off with silver. We'll go in order from the top to the bottom. But again, any questions you guys have, just let me know, and we will go over it definitely. Just gonna give everybody another 4 minutes to join. At 6:35, we will get started. So. Once again, guys, any questions, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, just let me know. Again, I'm gonna update my charts. The first couple minutes, the first 15-20 minutes of the stream is gonna be me just updating my charts, getting ready for this trading week, getting ready for today's live trading session. So if you guys have any questions, any specific pairs you want me to mark, give my analysis on, anything you guys want me to go over, just let me know. Jeremy, thank you for the like, my brother. I appreciate it. Great rising, great rising. Welcome to everybody coming in as well. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Yeah, we're just gonna give everybody another 3 minutes to join. We'll start at 6:35. Just want to give everybody a few minutes to join, give everybody a chance to join, give everybody a chance to ask any questions. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. Again, whether or not they're on the list, let me know. Let me know if the music is good too, guys, if it's too loud. Anything, just let me know. Again, guys, for those of you guys just joining us, we're going to just give everybody another minute to join, and then we'll get started. We'll be going over the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, the 30-minute time frame on the pairs that you see with the red flag next to their names. So bear with me as I update my charts, and then we'll get into the information of the live trading session. We'll see if there's anything left for us on the table, anything for us to trade, anything for us to look at. So any questions at all, guys, again, just let me know. Any specific pairs you want me to go over, anything you want me to talk about, just let me know. All right, so real quick, let's get started. So on the four, we know we don't have to really update the daily time frame, just to really know where we're at on the daily time frame. So AU right? We'll start from the daily. We'll do this, right? Right now for AU, I'm still marking this that we are in an overall downtrend. However, right now we're just sitting at the top of the zone of consolidation, the second zone of consolidation. And here at the top of the zone of consolidation is giving us another variation of what a zone of consolidation is, right? Which is a shoulder head shoulder. Price came down, gave us the inducement of the first shoulder, and then started this uptrend. So right now we are still uptrending on AUD USD. We have a week of rise, or a month of rise, sorry, which was last week. On the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we've just been making internal higher highs and higher lows while still trading. And again, everything is color coordinated. I know I have a lot drawn on the chart. You know, obviously, anytime I draw something on the stream or anytime I do a one-on-one session, I don't really like to delete the drawing, so we could have these levels just still marked up here, right? So we know that this was the previous high that we wanted to see price break above to continue this push to the top side, and that's exactly what price is giving us, right? So my next point of interest is this 4-hour engulfing candle, right? These 4-hour highs over here. If price gives us a valid break of these highs, then we know we're just going to continue this uptrend, right? Up until these highs over here, right? So this is going to be our next target if price could continue these breaks to the top side. For this previous week, let's take a look. For this previous week, we have another week of rise. So price is just continuing these higher highs and higher lows the entire time. Are you teaching? Yes, I am teaching. I do teach trading pretty much all of my streams. That's what I do. I've been doing this for the live streams. I've been doing it for the last 5 years. But yes, I do teach how to trade, and I do it for free. I do it for free. But again, I've been doing it on YouTube for the last 5 years, and then here on TikTok, I just started doing it pretty much last week. So this is my second week of doing these streams on TikTok. Jay, thank you for the like. I appreciate it. So yeah, any questions, just let me know. Sorry, I'm gonna take the time too to mute these bots that come in. I really wish I knew how to, if there was a bot or something I could add so I don't see these bots on my chat. I really wish there was a way I could do that, but I'm not sure if I could do that on TikTok. So right now AU's in that point of interest where we want to start looking for shorts, but again, that doesn't mean I'm getting into short positions right away. When we look at structure, when we look at what price is doing, what are we doing? Just still making higher highs and higher lows. Q20, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And everybody for the likes. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. It helps out so much. Yeah, any questions, just let me know. I'll be looking. I have my chat open on this side of the monitor. So if you see me looking to my right hand side, that's why. I'm just looking at the chat, making sure I don't miss any comments or anything. So again, any questions, just let me know. So right now when we're looking at structure, we know that price just continued, right? When I'm gonna start deleting some of these drawings so we can have a clean chart, at least on the 30-minute, right? So on the 30-minute price, and we'll do it with the highlighter so we're all on the same page, right? Price gave us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Then price gave us another break, and now we're trading in this higher high here, right? Already for the day, right? Let me know if this makes sense before I delete the drawings, guys. I'm gonna make sure that anytime I draw something, I'll ask you guys if it makes sense, right? So right now the structure, right? The higher highs and higher lows. Did that make sense? What's up, Chris? Welcome to the stream. Do you use a trade firm? Use funded or live account, and for what firm? So right now I am not trading with a firm. I don't really trade with prop firms, but I do want to get into it. You know, just for my case specifically, I didn't really trust the Forex prop firms. So I need to start trading with the futures prop firms. So the firms with futures is a little bit more reliable. than the Forex firms, but I usually just trade my live broker account. But I will be trading with the futures account here soon. Right now I'm trading, the broker that I use is Hero FX, HERO FX. You could look them up. They're pretty good. I mean, I haven't had any problems with them. I've been using them now for about year and a half, more or less a year and a half. I've been using Hero FX. The old broker that I was using, which was KOT Forex, Kings of Trading, they shut down after years. I've been using them since I first started learning about trading in like 2015. So they shut down sometime last year. Um, what would be a good starting budget? That really just depends on you, Chris. To be honest with you, like that's not really a one-sided. Like there's not one answer I could give you. At the end of the day, it just really depends on how much money you could invest comfortably without it hurting you. But also, if you're a beginner trader, somebody who hasn't doesn't really know how to trade, I wouldn't even recommend starting out with a live account. Everybody, I know everybody on TikTok and all these streamers and content creators are gonna tell you the difference. And this is a conversation we had on Friday with the live trading session that we did on Friday here on TikTok. Everybody on TikTok that's streaming that has, use my affiliate code, blah 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 blah. There's a reason why these creators, and that's what they are, they're creators, they're content creators, they're not traders. There's a reason why these people are telling you, yeah, don't trade a demo account, use a funded account or open up a live account and use my code or use my link. They get paid for that. They get commissions every time. If you have a live account, every time you make a deposit, they make a commission from that, right? With the firm account, anytime you make a purchase using their code, they get a commission from that as well. With that being said, if you're a beginner trader, just like anything, if you're a beginner in anything, you're gonna lose in the beginning, right? So obviously these creators want you to use their code and they want you to open up a live account. They want you to open up a prop firm account because they make a profit off of you losing. So I'm gonna tell you the truth because I don't make money off of you guys. I don't care for that. Again, I'm a trader first. I teach people how to trade. So I'm gonna tell you exactly how it is. If you're not really there yet to trade live capital where you know you're gonna win when you take a trade, you should just be trading demo account, right? Open up, find a Sal and R, thing with follow, Chris, thing with follow. I appreciate it. If you're a type of trader right now where you're not profitable, then go find a broker. Whatever broker you want. Again, I use Hero FX. You could look up whatever broker fits for you, whatever's better for you, and open up a demo account. I know how to trade. I just don't understand how to set it up because creators make it confusing. Yeah, so I mean, you have two options, right? Again, you have the option to trade with a prop firm, whatever prop firm you decide you want to trade with, and then you have the option to trade with a broker. And it's pretty simple once you set it up. Again, like if you want to use a broker, if you want, there's a link in my bio. Um, the broker that I use, you go ahead and just click on that link, or again, you could just look them up on trading and just look up Hero FX on Google. And it's pretty straightforward. Once you go to the website, just sign up. There is no minimum. I just saw you asked that question. There is no min. I think the minimum is maybe like $10. So I guess there is a minimum. I think it's $10 if I'm not mistaken. But realistically speaking, like you're not gonna be able to open up a trade with $10 on your account, $20 in your account. So I would say $50 minimum is like what you'd be able to really get comfortable with. I want to start trading, but I don't know how. I just opened up Trading View and got no clue what I'm saying. Yeah, if it's your first time, it's gonna look like Chinese. I always say that to every person that I start teaching. That's their first time looking at charts. It does look like Chinese at first, but it just takes time. Again, it's just like any other skill. We went over this on Friday. Um, Trading is a skill just like anything else, right? And the more you do it, the more you see it, the more you practice, the easier it gets day in and day out. Um, Again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's difficult when everybody on social media makes it seem like this is the easiest thing to do. when in reality, again, just a simple Google search and you'll be able to see 90% of traders fail. If this was so easy, then everybody would be a trader. If this was so easy, everybody would be successful at it. Everybody would be profitable within a week of trading. But that's just not the case. There's so much information you need to know. There's so much you have to be able to see, before you even take a trade, right? Because before you even take a trade, you need to make sure that your analysis is correct. So, that's odd because a while back I put like 100 into Tradeovate and it wouldn't let me buy. Yeah, it depends on the broker. So every broker is different. I've never used Tradeovate, but I've heard of it. There's like Tradeovate, there's Hanko Trades, there's a few brokers. But it depends on the broker. So some brokers you need a minimum of $100. Some brokers is a minimum of 1,000. Some brokers is a minimum of 500. It just depends on the broker you use. Expect me to hear more often. I do want to learn because I tried paper trade, but it was mostly gambling. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean that's what the beginning of your trading is gonna be. It's gonna be gambling because you don't have enough information, right? If you don't have enough information to open up a trade, and you open up a trade anyway, you're pretty much just gambling because you don't know why you opened up the trade, right? You don't know why you opened up the trade. You don't know why you put your take profit where you put it. You don't even know why you put your stop loss where you put it. You're just placing lines anywhere. But that's normal. Um, but yeah, if you guys are interested, again, I teach for free. Everything I do here is free. So you guys could go ahead. There's a link in my bio. You guys could join the Discord. And anytime I'm streaming, you guys could come in. I stream every day, Monday through Friday. So anytime you guys have a question, like I'm literally here for you guys to teach you guys. So any questions you have, let me know. And again, there's no such thing as a stupid question. The same question you have is the same question that 100 other traders have, right? And they're just scared to ask the question. New Orleans shooter, thank you for the follow. Chris, thank you for the follow. Maybe Tradeovate is different. I read that already. Hold on, my bad. Let me scroll up real quick. But yes, I appreciate you being here. Um, what's the best trading for a beginner to start learning? It depends on what strategy you want to do, right? So if you want to be a scalper, if you want to be a day trader, if you want to be a swing trader, it just all depends. Would you say Hero FX is a good starting point? I would say so, right? It's a broker, so you'll be able to open up a demo account before you even deposit money, right? You'll be able to open up a paper trading account, start trading demo while you learn, or if you already know how to trade and you just want to use a new broker, again, you could open up the demo account and just get comfortable with their dashboard, get comfortable with their trading environment. So I would definitely say that. What's a good broker for beginners? The broker doesn't really matter. Um, the broker is just it allows you access to be able to deposit and withdraw money. At that point, again, it just really, if you want to do your research, you could just find whatever broker fits best for you. Again, I use Hero FX. If you need the link, it's in the bio, or again, just Hero FX on Google, HEROFX. That's the broker that I've been using for the last year and a half now. Are there any trades you don't set a stop loss and you let it ride overnight based off pattern recognition? No. So for me personally, I'm a day trader. So there's different rules that I follow. There's different moves that the market makes that I understand is different. Like I would never hold a trade overnight or from one session to the next for a lot of reasons, right? One reason is because of the commission, right? If you hold a trade from one session to the next, your broker charges you a crazy commission. Second reason why I wouldn't do that is just the news, right? Especially what's happening right now. So like anything could happen politically, right? There's so much news that's going on that I'm not sure how much I could say on TikTok. I don't want to get banned or anything, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Obviously, if you don't live under a rock, there's so much going on politically that at any given moment, any news could drop and the market is going to move like crazy, right? So just based off of those two things, I don't trade I don't trade from one session to the next. I'm a day, and either way, I'm a day trader, right? So I'm usually in and out of trades an hour, 2 hours max, right? But there's a lot of other things that I look at, right? I look at the ADR for the day, which is the average daily range. I calculate STP based on ADR. So like if the trade I'm looking at already hit ADR for the day, like for example for AUD USD, right? It hit ADR for the day. I already know that for today, I'm not going to be trading AUD USD because it already hit the average daily range. The average daily range is how many pips on average a specific pair is going to move on a day-to-day basis. So there's a lot of rules that I follow. Nina, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. How much can you invest in a day if you put $100 into one stock? So trading options and what I trade, which is the foreign currencies or futures, the index is US 30. It's a little bit different. If you trade stock, it depends, right? Like if you invest into a stock that's $3 and you invest 100, if if price only moved 0.80 cents in profit, then whatever 0.80 times 100 is would be your profit. What's Hero FX commission on holding into another time frame, into another session? I'm not sure because I've never done it, so I can't give you that. I can't give you that answer since I don't trade. I don't hold trades from one session to the next, so I'm not 100% sure. But it's also different not every single time, but it is different sometimes. But it could be from a couple cents to just a couple dollars. Depends on what your lot size is. All of that comes into play. I saw XST was gonna go up a lot after August 26th. This is day trading, Mo. How much can I invest with 100? You just trade or do you hold stocks or ETFs? I don't hold stocks. I pretty much just day trade. I just day trade. The only thing that I do hold is just Bitcoin. That's the only thing in my portfolio that I hold. Bitcoin and XRP. But like stocks, like Apple, no. But I do day trade Apple. I do day trade Nvidia. I have them here. Tesla. These are the only three stock options that I trade. With a broker, I'm able to trade options as well. The same way like I'm able to trade crypto as well, like day trade it. So I just day trade most of the options and all that. You think XRP will hit 3 by the end of this year? Relatively stable. It's a difficult kind of question to answer. Again, I don't think we'll go up to $3. I'm gonna be honest with you, unless something crazy happens. Kendrick, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Unless something crazy happens, I don't see this going up to $3. Like, just think about the move that this has to be given. Like, just think about how big the move has to be in order for this to hit $3. It's a crazy move. We're talking about, a 200% move in 4 months, right? When for the last 6, 7 months, we've been in the same area from 150 down to $1 flat. It just doesn't make any sense. When you look at the chart, it doesn't make any sense for this to be up at $3 in 4 months from now. And again, especially with everything going on, you have to take into consideration there's so much going on politically around the world. And there's a lot of things going on with crypto in general, where it's like it really wouldn't make sense for this to be at $3 by the end of the year. Like that move is just so unprecedented. It wouldn't make sense for that to happen. What you recommend for the first time day, doing day trading or meme coin? Legendary, thank you for the follow. Honestly, like well, it depends. Like, what are you asking me specifically? Well, what do I recommend you look at or trading or what? New Iran news about ceasefire? Yeah, I mean, there. What's up, Jay? Welcome back, brother. Um, yeah, like I said, there's so much news going on. You can't really be 60-day extension. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Muhammad? Great rising, my brother. There's so much news going on, man. So much news. So many bots talking about link. Yeah, I know, man. I'm telling you. Again, I don't know. That's on me because it is on me. I forgot to kind of look it up this weekend. I don't know if TikTok has a way where I could ban, you know, specific words, I guess. Like, I don't know if TikTok allows me to do that. And if they do allow me to do that, how do I do it? I'm not sure. But it is mad annoying. Let's see, more chat settings. Let me do that right now, as a matter of fact. Let me see. Like, one new to this, I use demo trade on gold and S&P. I just don't understand it. You'll just need a moderator. Keywords. So let me see. Allow comments. Hide potential spam or offensive comments. Add keyword. Okay, cool. Be active in chat, because then people can type those words and be banned. All right, just don't type link in bio in the chat. For those of you guys watching me now, you just do not type link in bio or yeah, link in bio. I mean, that's like a. Well, let's see. Let's see if it works. I just I just put those things in the settings. So if you type link in bio in the chat, you're gonna get banned. Just don't type it. Like again, like realistically speaking, a regular person is not gonna be like click it link in bio. Like, let's see if that works. So I do agree that shit is mad annoying. Can I try it out? Fuck it, go ahead. I don't know how to unban you. I'll have to figure it out. Don't do it. 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 Because then I'm gonna have to figure out how the hell to unban you. Moderators, restricted accounts. Okay, no, I found it. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Type it in. I got you. Go ahead. I found it. I think. Moderators. I'm in the moderators. I think. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It said just unban me. Oh, crazy. Doesn't work. Well, I mean, it didn't. If you didn't, it didn't type anything in the chat, so I guess it worked. What do you think I should start with to pass funded accounts? Um, at age 20, great. I'm assuming it worked. Yeah, I think it worked too, because I didn't see it in the chat, so I think we're good. And it didn't ban you either. It just didn't type it. Okay, cool, cool, cool. It did work. Um, Perfect. Okay, cool. So now we know how to do that. All right, I'm gonna answer this one more question. Again, if you guys have any other questions, let me know right now, and then give me like 5-10 minutes so I could update these charts one by one, so we could have enough time to get ready for the live trading session. There's no news today, so I'm not really in a rush. Again, today's trading session is gonna be very simple. There's no trade. There's literally no news today. I think there's CAD news today, if I'm not mistaken, at 8:30. That's pretty much it. Um, where you look for news, it's forexfactory.com. Forex factory FACTORY.com. Specific site, yeah, forexfactory.com. Um, so yeah, Mo, it really depends. Like, again, like I don't know I don't know your trade style. I don't know how long you've been trading for. I don't really have enough information about you to really be able to answer that question that makes sense in your situation. Um, so with that being said, you kind of really depends. Like, everybody has a different pair to look at. For me, again, I don't look at just one pair. I'm not married to one specific pair. And again, for the reason for that is like what we're seeing with AUD USD. Like if I wake up right at 6 a.m. and AUD USD already hit ADR for the day, I'm done looking at like I'm not looking at AUD USD for the rest of the day. It already hit ADR. It already made the move for the day. So what pairs you should look at. For me, my answer is going to be different than everybody else's online. Again, everybody online is going to tell you, oh, you just have to look at one pair. Like that's not true, because if that one pair you're looking at, let's say for a whole week straight, is not giving you a move, what are you doing? You're going to start chasing trades. You're going to start feeling like you're missing out, and like it just creates so much more anxiety. It doesn't make sense. um Yeah, I'm new to this trading. I've been only demo trading past 5 months. I just know how. Tristan, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. If everybody giving likes to the stream, I really do appreciate that too. Get any questions, let me know. What time is it? 6:59? Oh well. I'm gonna start updating my charts now. So if I miss your question in the chat, let me know. For those of you guys who've been in here, if you guys see that somebody asked a question, You know, if you could answer it, I'd appreciate it. But I will go back. I will be looking at the chat if there's any questions, but I do want to update my charts real quick. I meant to say I just don't know how to start and where to start. Well, you've been trading for 5 months, right? So, in those 5 months, like, how has it been for you, right? That's the number one thing, right? Who you've been learning from, what you've been learning, what strategies have you been learning? There's a lot to dissect in that. All right, so real quick, let me just update my charts. Start. We already did the 4 hour, right? We're in that 4 hour point of interest. TJR bootcamp. Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know a lot about TJR. I don't know. Like I know of him obviously. He's crazy big on social media. Um, I just don't know his strategy, but I know he trade. Like obviously, like he trades. I have nothing negative. I guess you could say I have nothing negative to say about him. Um, but again, I just don't know enough about him to be able to really say anything. Like I don't know what his strategy is. I don't know how he trades, what he teaches. Are you gonna short this because it looks like it hit resistance? No, not for AUD USD right now. So like ideally, or like overall, I am in my bias is shorts on AUD USD. But again, if we're just gonna answer that question at face value, like for today, am I looking for shorts? No, I'm not looking for any trades on AUD USD for today because it already hit ADR for the day, right? So the average daily range already was hit for the day. There's nothing left for me on the table. Again, the average daily range is how many pips on average a pair is gonna move on a day-to-day basis. Um, and it already hit it, right? It already hit ADR, so I'm done looking for trades or for entries on AUD USD. However, to answer the question in a more technical way, yes, I agree. Right, we did hit a little resistance, which is again we've had this mapped out for the last couple of weeks. Right, if we break these highs, we're gonna continue get the retest. We're gonna go up to these highs. We got up to these highs, and we got that break, right, to go back up into these highs here. So pretty much just looking for the same thing that we've been looking for all the way up here. Right at these highs, which is that 4 hour engulfing candle, these 4 hour highs over here. Before we go up to these highs, let me. It's a little bit clearer now, right? We'll do the same thing we did with those other highs. We'll do it here. Right? At this point, I'm either going to be looking for price to break to continue into these highs, right? Or this is where price is going to give us the inducement to go back down. So like the same thing that we were looking for here, the same thing we were looking for here, the same thing we were looking for here is the same thing that I'm looking for at these highs over here. So before I even consider shorts on AUD USD, first thing is first, right? Because that's a higher time frame analysis. Right now on the 30-minute time frame, on the 5-minute time frame, on the 1-minute time frame, I need to start seeing lower lows and lower highs. And right now, what are we doing? We're still making higher highs and higher lows. So for me to consider shorts, there's a few things I need to see before I even take a trade. I've been watching he's been at TGR, but I just don't understand that for I don't get it. Uh, Jart, thank you for sharing the stream. I appreciate it. Is trading view worth paying for? Or does it come with making a hero effect? So no, hero effects you don't. It doesn't connect to trading view specifically. With hero effects, I use trade locker, so that's why you see this down here. I use Trade Locker when I trade with the broker. I personally have never paid for TradingView, and I won't ever pay for TradingView because I don't use any of the features. I don't need more than two indicators. All I use is the EMA and the ADR. So it's literally the only two indicators that I have. I don't use the replay tool. I don't really care for it. It's not really something that I use. So if you're asking me personally, is it worth it? No, it's really not worth it. But again, other people will tell you something different, and that's okay. Everybody has a different opinion. It really depends. I pay for real time data, and that's another thing. I don't, you can see that I have the futures charts here, and obviously I don't have the real data. But again, I don't trade futures. And then either way, when you get a prop firm account and you connect the prop firm to TradeLocker, you have the real data, obviously. So I don't need it. I don't need TradingView. I don't need to pay for it. Again, me personally, again, maybe everybody's different. How can you tell what or where the ADR is? Good question. So the ADR, the number one thing, once you have the ADR tool, you have pretty much the low of the ADR and the high of the ADR, right? And obviously, if you're new to trading, or if you know this, or if you don't know this, on the 30-minute time frame, the session breaks that you have on your charts, which everybody should have them, but I know that a lot of people just don't trade with them, which again, for me, is kind of dumb if you don't trade with session breaks on the 30-minute time frame. But the session breaks tell you the beginning of the day, right? The beginning of the session and the end of the session, right? So when the markets open at Asia session to when the markets close during the NYC session. So pretty much the beginning of the day, right, which is the beginning of Asia session at 5 p.m. This is the opening candle, and this is where we're at right now, right? This is the low of the ADR, this is the high of the ADR. Price already hit the high of the ADR. And again, you could just calculate it just based on how many on the move, right? So like ADR is 45 pips, and for the day, this already moved 52 pips. So that's already telling me that obviously the ADR has already been hit. The average daily range for the day has already been hit. Um, I think TradingView is a scam. I don't think it's a scam. Like again, I think that again, everybody's different. A lot of people will tell you, "Oh, I use the replay tool." Like, how can you back test if you don't have a replay tool? Like, simple, just go back as much as you can and just look for your strategy. People are like acting like back testing wasn't a thing before TradingView. Like I was back testing on MT4 on FX Glory before TradingView was a thing. It's not that serious. But again, everybody's different, so I'm not here to bash on anybody and talk shit. It's just it is what it is. I use Lucid on Tracy and then use TV for indicators. Gotcha. Stanley David the follow, I appreciate it. And again, thank you guys for the likes. I do appreciate that. Okay, my bad. Let's get back to updating these charts real quick. So for the day, AUD USD is already done, so I don't need to do anything with AUD USD. I'm gonna go to the 4 hour first. I'm gonna update my 4 hour chart, and then we'll go to the 30 minutes. So this could be a little bit quicker. On the 4 hour time frame with this pair, we have 2 weeks of drop. Euro CAD. Again, any questions, guys? Let me know. I'm just gonna update my charts real quick. Third week low has already been hit. We still got that gap at the bottom. Euro CAD, we are still overall in this little zone of consolidation. I'm not gonna mess with Euro CAD. We'll wait it out. Euro USD. We have 2 weeks where price has just been moving sideways, no continuations. GA, we're still in this internal zone of consolidation as well. We're back at the bottom. No continuations on this either. I think gold or SP 500 better to pass on that accounts, or what do you think? Honestly, I think again, it depends on the trader. I don't really believe that one pair is easier than the other to pass accounts or even to make money. Like, yes, trading indexes, trading commodities, right? Trading S&P or US 30 or NAS or gold or Bitcoin or oil or silver. Even if you trade on the Forex side, right, and you look at GBP, JPY, like these are some pairs that pay out a lot more and they also have a lot more pips in the market. So you have the ability to make more money with those pairs. Um, but it really depends on your strategy, how you trade, your stop loss, right? Because then that all depends on if you have a big stop loss, you have a smaller lot size. If you have a smaller stop loss, you have a bigger lot size, right? And the bigger lot size you have, the less pips you need to make more money. You get what I'm saying? And trading pairs like US 30 and NAS and S&P and gold, you make a lot of money. I don't think it's better to pass accounts. Again, I think it just depends on the skill that you have on the charts. Because yeah, like as easy as it is to pass the funded accounts when you're trading those bigger pairs, it's just as easy to make one wrong move, and that one wrong move you're gonna blow your account, right? Or you're going to fail the firm a lot quicker if you make one wrong move on gold or one wrong move on US 30 or S&P compared to if you make one wrong move on AUD USD or Euro USD. It's not it won't cost that much, if that makes any sense. And go anything with the follow, I appreciate it. I'm looking at calling along on NZD CAD right now as soon as it retests. We could go over NZD CAD. Do I have that one on my chart? I think NZD USD is the only one that I have. Well, I could go over NZD CAD with you. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. That's a big game. Yeah, no problemo. Nas, I don't have this updated on the 4 hour. Joseph, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Doesn't seem like we have any continuations for a lot of these pairs on the 4 hours, which is okay. We'll go to the 30-minute right after I'm done with this. We have 2 weeks of rise on gold, so this could be good. We'll be looking for a third week push to the top side. This could be a good pair for the week. Little 372 to the top side. I don't think I have Bitcoin updated either. We have a little 4 hour engulfing candle here as well. This is good. Yeah, I don't have Bitcoin updated. It's all good. I'll update this tonight. JT, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. You think I should start with Lucid Funded or others you recommend? When it comes to prop firms, I don't really. I'm not too familiar with a lot of the prop firms, so I wouldn't be the best person to give you a recommendation on which one you should start with. The best thing I could really say is just make sure you do enough research on whichever firm. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Just do enough research to the point where you're comfortable to be like, you know what, let me invest my money into this firm. And understanding that they'll pay you out or they won't just breach your account for any stupid reason. But it's also look at the rules. Again, that's another big thing with a lot of firms. Um, every firm has different rules, right? Whether it's consistency rules, end of day drawdowns, profit target, max drawdown. You just need to make sure that you read through the rules and that you're comfortable enough to be able to follow those rules so you don't blow the account. So as long as that prop firm has rules that you could follow that you're comfortable with, that'll be the best way to do. Um, any tips how I should start? Knowledge learn what you're doing, go paper trade and learn. I agree with that. Yeah. Paper trade while you learn, that's the biggest thing. I would say that same thing. Right? Paper trade while you learn is the biggest thing. Again, you're a lot of people online are gonna tell you different. They're gonna tell you, oh, trading paper is not real. It's not the same, but it is the same. Because trading with a paper account, a demo account, you are trading the same trading environment. You're trading the same chart. The same candlesticks are printed. It's live. You're trading a live chart when you're paper trading. So there's no difference, right? A lot of people, oh, it is different because you're trading. If you don't have money on the line, you're not trading with real emotion. That's just if you're trying to trade, trying to find a rush, you're trying to find that anxiety push, then you're not trading, you're gambling, right? Like at the end of the day, you practice. Just think about it. Again, like I'm a person that thinks very logically. I'm a very logical person. If we use that same mindset that people have with trading across everything in the world, right? Doctors wouldn't practice on a dummy. They would practice on a real live human because it's not the same, because it's not a live human, right? Let's just I hate talking about this because I get super anxious. Like I want to punch a wall because it's just so stupid how people think. You're a doctor, yeah, and you're a student doctor. You're gonna learn on a fucking live human being instead of learning on a fake dummy, on a prosthetic arm. Something simple for the women. You're learning how to do nails. You're gonna go learn on a real human hand instead of buying a dummy hand and buying plastic nails to learn how to do the drawings and the designs and shit like that. You're practicing to be a lawyer. You're doing mock test amongst your class and amongst your peers. You're not gonna go learn how to be a lawyer, on a real case, So why is trading any different? You want to learn how to trade using a real account, right? It makes a lot of sense, guys. I don't. Again, maybe I'm just different. Maybe I'm just that one human in the world that thinks differently. But like, it's just so crazy to me. You want to learn how to trade while using real money, and then you get upset and you have no money left over. Like, it's just so crazy to me. It doesn't make fucking sense, yo. It doesn't make sense. Sorry for venting for my little rant, but like I have to sometimes. Um, I've been doing that for almost 5 months. It taught me a lot of things I didn't know. Yeah, I mean, again, I was paper trading for about 2 years until I started. Again, and for me, it was very simple. I'm like, yo, I'm not buying a live account, or I'm not gonna trade a live account until I'm profitable with my demo account. Until I see consistency, I'm not gonna trade a live account because I don't come from money. I didn't have mom and dad to pay for my shit. I needed to make sure that if I invest 200 bucks in my account, which is what I started with, if I invest this money, I can't lose it because I do not have another 200 to put into my account. Damn. Quinn got us, guys. Quinn got us. It's all good. Valid rant. Thank you. Would you be able to show how HeroFX works, the user interface looks like? Yeah, I got you, Chris. For Lucid or paper, paper trading is free, and for Lucid, one account. Yeah. Okay, cool. Silver also has 2 weeks of rise. We'll be looking for a third week push, same as gold, right? And then usually silver and gold move very similarly. So at least we know gold and silver for this week would be really good to keep an eye on. So now that we've updated the 4 hour, we already know what's happening on the 4 hour, what trades we go look at for the week. For a little continuation trade, we could go down to the 30 minute. On the 30 minute here, price gave us this change of character, then it came back down and gave us another change of character of the lows. 30-minute change of character, and I'm not going to mark this as lower low, lower high, lower low. All of this is part of the same trends, right? And again, very similar to what we were saying about AUD USD with Euro AUD, price already hit ADR for the day. So we already know that this is not a pair I'll be looking at to take a trade for the rest of the day. Euro CAD already hit STP for the day. So this is another pair where we could just turn this one off. We already know we're not going to be looking for anything. Euro CAD will turn that off. MJ, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. They have discount code to get 50-30% off. I know paper trading, I mean Lucid accounts. What do you have a photo plus? Um, thank you for the ADR tip. I'm gonna start implementing that on my analysis. It's the best thing to do, man. Like, trading is all about numbers, right? And once you really start seeing things a little bit clear, just really think about it. Most of the time, right? Euro USD had 2 days of rise and gave us that third day push. Already hit ADR for the day. That's it. No more trades for Euro USD for the day. And when we're looking at structure, we know price here. You know, I'm not gonna mark this like what I was saying, where this is like higher high, higher low, higher high. All of this is part of the same move. Let's take a step back here and just mark this up the right way. Right, we had higher high, higher low. Then we had higher high. Then we had higher low down here. Right, so higher high, higher low. Right, higher high, higher low. And then price gave us another higher high with today's move. Right, higher high, higher low into these higher highs. So trade locker is free. Yeah, trade locker is free. Okay, cool. You guys are answering questions in chat. I like that about y'all. Thank you. GA, we've been in the zone of consolidation for a little bit, and then we finally broke below it, started going down, already hit ADR for the day. So I'm not expecting price to really move anymore for the rest of the day. So any like what I was saying with ADR is like how many times have you guys gotten into a trade and then price just doesn't move anymore for the rest of the day? And then you're like, damn, like as soon as I got into the trade, price isn't moving anymore. Right? For the most part, that happens when you take a trade after ADR has already been hit for the day. For Friday, price just moved sideways. We're still in the zone of consolidation. Price is still moving sideways. So we're just gonna let price do what it has to do there. GJ at the end of the day, Friday gave us that push above, right? We're in a zone of consolidation, and then we finally got that break of structure above. We had 3 days where price was just moving sideways. Price gave us the break, the retest, the continuation. This could be a good one to keep an eye on for today. I'll be interested to see what GJ does. GJ, we are still trading between this 30-minute lower low and this 30-minute lower high over here. Right? Price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low. Price never broke these lows and never broke these highs. We're back at these highs over here. So we'll be a little bit cautious with GJ. Take a sip of water real quick. My girl out, man. She got to work already. Give me a second, guys. Cool. Damn, Lucid has a max. Like how much you can make max? I didn't know that. That kind of sucks. GBP USD with STP for the day 65 minus 33% is 43 pips. We already hit STP for the day for GU. Damn, bro. Today's gonna be one of those days. I'm not really. Doesn't seem like I'm gonna be able to take any trades. Maybe for gold and US 30 and gold always gonna give something. Got the inducement of the zone of consolidation. Then price gave us a change to the top side. Right, and then we are now trading between higher high, higher low, higher high. And we're looking for price to give us a valid break above these highs over here, which we do not have just yet. 30 minutes. So the good thing with GU, right? The bad thing obviously is for today, I'm not really looking for any trades, right? STP has already been hit. The good thing is that if price could give us a valid break of this higher high point, then we know that for the rest of the week, or at least for Tuesday, Wednesday, or even Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be able to catch when price gives us the higher low, we'll be able to catch the higher high move back to the top side. So we'll just be patient with GU. But it's looking good. You said NZD CAD. We'll go over NZD CAD. Let me just go over these pairs real quick. US 30, let's see. So US 30, we were looking for the change, which we got. We were looking for the break of structure, which we got. Right? Then price gave us lower low, lower high, and gave us the lower low. So now we were looking for price to give us, let me delete these drawings here. Right? We're looking for price to give us a valid break below these lows here. Right? Did we get that valid break? No. We still don't have a candle that closed below these lows. All of these candles here are still just testing, just inducing these lows. So I still don't have a valid break of these lows on US 30. Now, we had 3 days of drop. Thursday gave us that 3rd day drop rise. Friday, we were looking for a 4th-day variation, and we got that 4th-day variation to the bottom. So for today, I'm either expecting price to move sideways or give us a little push to the top side. And at this point, right, price is still just inducing these lows. So could price still turn around and go up, right? Just give us a little push for today. It could happen. I'm gonna go down into the lower time frame. Well, we will. Oh yeah, let's do this now. Fuck it. Let's see how this looks. On the 5-minute time frame, we had this big push down here, which gave us this 5-minute high and these 5-minute lows, right? Which gave us a change, and we're looking for a valid break. Yeah, so exactly. So at this point, right on the 5-minute time frame, we have this 5-minute change here. And before I could take any short positions, I need to see a 5-minute break below these lows. And we could see that price gave us an inducement of these lows with these wicks over here. Right, so we'll be patient. It's going to be an interesting, very interesting day with US 30. We're either going to get a valid break of these lows, the same thing on the 30, or price is just going to give us the inducement to turn around and start pushing to the top side. Right, and then NAS looks different. Again, the craziest thing with the indexes right now, for the most part, they move very similarly. But the last couple months, obviously, we understand why this has happened too. This is why understanding what's going on politically, the news that's going on as well around the world, is very important to understand because we would only really see these type of moves whenever we have so much shit going on. So I'm not really gonna focus too much on that. What's good, Randy? Sorry guys, if I miss a chat, just let me know. Just keep typing it. If it's something important, I'm so sorry. I'm just updating my charts real quick before we start doing the live trading session. Um, I'm just scrolling through the chat real quick to make sure you guys are good. The app right now, Randall, is TradingView, the charts itself. Okay, and then you guys are still talking amongst each other. I like that, man. Dude, great people. All right, so with gold for this week, we know we're looking for a third week push to the top side. We had a day of rise on Friday. Let's delete some of these drawings here, guys. So we have a clean chart, right? Let's start clean with gold real quick. Right, it gave us a little zone of consolidation. We were still trading higher high, higher low. High, it gave us an inducement of the highs. Came down, gave us a change of character, just induced the lows. There's a 30-minute change to the bottom side. And then price gave us these highs over here. So we were trading between this pretty much lower high point and this lower low over here. Price gave us an engulfing candle here on the 30 as well. I don't like that. I don't like that engulfing candle at all. I'm going to be looking at the lower time frame on gold. We have lower low, lower high, lower low. Price gave us an inducement of these lows. See if it went lower. Did we get a valid? We did. Technically, this is where price turned around and gave us a change. And we continue now. If we say that this is the change here, it'd be kind of the same, similar situation. Gave us an inducement, came up, gave us a change of character to the top side. Right, because if we say that this is high, higher, low, higher, high, then this is where we price regardless, right? If we mark this up aggressively, which I will mark up gold aggressively, right? I will say that this is high, higher, low, higher, high on the 5-minute time frame, lower, low, change of character, and then we have a 5-minute change of character here again back to the top side. Trading gold aggressively is not bad. We have a 5-minute change, and I'm looking for a 5-minute break. We do have a 30-minute engulfing candle, so we'll mark this up. It's a big zone, so I wouldn't even use this like stop loss placement for this engulfing, but whenever we'll look for an entry for gold, we'll go down to the lower time frame and look for a little tighter stop loss. It's going to be an interesting day to look at. Bitcoin already hit STP for the day, so I'm not even going to update it. Again, guys, any questions, let me know. For those guys who are just joining us or new here, if you have any questions about any specific pairs, let me know. If you guys haven't hit the follow button, I'd appreciate it. It would really help out. And again, if you guys are interested in joining the Discord, everything we do here is free. So if you guys want to join the Discord, you could go ahead and join the Discord. Any questions, anything you guys want to ask, just let me know. The link is in the bio if you guys are interested. For oil, we had the change, we had the break. And we're still trading between this 30-minute low and 30-minute high. We had 2 days of drop on the third day. Price gave us a day of rise instead. We're just in the zone of consolidation, just price moving sideways. We're on the 800 EMA. We know price respects the 800 EMA, so we weren't really expecting price to give us that third day push on Friday. Right, on top of the fact that it is Friday. We know Fridays, not expecting a lot of moves to happen on a Friday, especially after a week where we had a lot of news. It's nothing new. All right, so oil will turn that off, and then silver will be very similar to gold. Let's see, we have a little bit better structure on silver compared to gold. We had a day of drop on Thursday. Friday gave us a day of rise. Let's see where we're at when it comes to structure. What is this? All right, on silver we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Gave us an inducement of the high, then it started coming down. Gave us a lower low change of character. All right, so on the 30-minute time frame, we're trading 30-minute change. Trading between this 30-minute high. It's 30-minute low. And then somebody wanted me to go over NZD CAD, right? Okay, guys, any questions, let me know. Joel, yeah, I'm currently doing demo trading, but I'm kind of just buying in and hoping I make profits. Gotcha. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Again, like you're pretty much, I'm assuming that you're just starting out, you're just learning how to trade, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? Learning the platform, learning the buys, the sells, learning the lot sizes that you could use, um, the spreads, how the spreads affect the market as well. So there's nothing wrong with that. But the more you do it, the more you'll be able to understand, and that's really all that it takes, to be honest with you, Joel. It's slowly making more sense. It takes me a bit more time because I'm more hands-on, and in the moment, yeah. All right, so who was the person who was asking for NCD CAD? Are you still in here? I don't remember who it was that asked for it. Do you have any specific questions about NCD CAD? I'm trying to scroll up to the chat so I know who was said. Who's the one that wanted me to go over NCD CAD, but I really can't find it. I don't remember. Thank you for the follow, Joel. I appreciate that. Okay, yeah, it was you. Okay, good. Do you have any specific questions on NZD CAD? Specifically, like, is there anything you want me to? Because I could just do my top-down analysis on it. You can see that this is a pair I used to have marked up. But we've just been on the daily time frame. We've just been in this huge range, Like we've been in this range since 2023, right? And we've been at these lows since the beginning of 2025, right? And where we've just been rejecting these highs and rejecting these lows for the last year, right? So for me on NZD, like NZD CAD, I don't even have this on my watch list, is because of that, right? So just off the bat, NZD CAD for me is not even a good pair to look at because again, we just zoom in even to again just what day is this, to January of 2025, right? Over a year ago. And we've just been rejecting these highs and rejecting these lows the entire time. Right, so let me know if that makes sense at least on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, I don't really have a good analysis. Again, just based off a simple market structure where price has just been rejecting highs, rejecting lows, 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 and we're back at the highs again, right? Every single time price has gone up, gone down, gone up, gone down in the same area every single time for the last year. Right, so before I go down to the 4-hour time frame, let me know if that made sense at least on the daily. Oh, sorry if the kinds of questions are overwhelming, but you have worded it better than anyone I've asked to watch. No, trust me, Chris, I am used to it, brother. I've been teaching how to trade for the last 5 years, so I am used to it. And again, I would much rather you guys ask questions. That makes sense? Okay, cool. So going into the 4-hour time frame now. Right, on the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, and Jay was doing a really good job explaining the prop firms as well. Shout out to Jay. I appreciate, yeah, no problem. What would you typically look for? So for the most part, right, the best way I could really answer that question so it makes the most sense. What I'm looking for is just a trend, right? Always remember when you're trading, right, something that Steve Morrow would say, which Steve Morrow, again, we talked about him on Friday. He is the person that I learned from when it comes to the market makers pattern, right? Understanding the overall bias, where we're at, whether we should be looking for buys, for sells. Something he said that makes the most sense, right? The trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. If you are trending, look for a fucking entry. If you're moving sideways, if you're in a zone of consolidation, if you're in one of the variations of a zone of consolidation, whether it's a TFR, a shoulder head shoulder, sideways movement, right? Let price give you the breakout, right? Either let price give you the breakout to continue the trend after the retest, or in a zone of consolidation, you'll wait for the inducement to catch a reversal trade, right? To go the opposite way. So the number one thing I'm looking at is, are we trending? That's it. That's the most simple question and the most simple thing you could look for in trading, right? Are you trending or are you in a range? Are you in a zone of consolidation, right? And right now, what are we doing? We know we're just in a huge range. We're in a huge range. We're again on the 4-hour time frame. We go to the highs, we go to the low, right? We go to the highs, we go to the low. To do what? Back at the highs. And just looking at this here now, what do we know? Well, here we've also just been into these lows and into these highs. Right? So now on the lower time frame, now that you know the kind of the areas that you're in, is like, could you look for trades, right? Yeah, you could technically look for trades. But again, is it easier to catch trades when you're in a zone of consolidation? And this is a question for you guys in the chat, right? Is it easier to catch trades in a zone of consolidation, or is it easier to catch trades when you're in a trend? I'll give you guys 20 seconds to answer that question in the chat. In a trend, right? Shakai, welcome to the stream, my brother. You say in a trend too, exactly. So is that simple? Like if I'm not in a trend, if price isn't trending, then what are we doing? Like if we're not trending, I am not looking for a trade. Because again, in a zone of consolidation, same thing we've been talking about all week last week. Right? I gave you guys a definition of a zone of consolidation last week. Let's see who did their homework. Let's see who took notes. Who could give me Shakai? I swear to God, don't give him the answer. I mean, you could do it because you're on YouTube, I guess. Everybody on YouTube would know the answer already. But I'll ask you guys the question. Let's see who did their homework. Right? What is the definition of a zone of consolidation? Again, I'm asking for the definition of the zone of consolidation, the definition of a range. I'm not asking you guys for a characteristic. I'm not asking for the characteristics of a zone of consolidation. We already know what a zone of consolidation looks like, but what is the definition of a zone of consolidation? And I'm looking for verbatim, word for word definition that I gave you guys on Friday and Thursday. Facts, hope. I'll hop in JumpeR stream. Yeah, I trade every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. Consolidate. Oh, you're wrong, Kobe. A period where traders get trapped, stop loss hunted. What time is it for you guys right now? 6:40. It's 7:40. You're an hour. You're Central Time, Chris. I'm Eastern. I'm assuming if it sticks with the same highs and lows. Okay, it's not wrong. Price in the range. I'm in NYC right now. 7:40. No clean break. What's up, Paul? Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you. Food David the follow. I appreciate it. Or average highs and lows. Okay. Been here, but I was watching my TV, so no comment section. It's all good, Shakai. Any questions, Shakai, you could always let me know. Some consolidation where the chart is trading sideways. Okay, so exactly. So again, make sure you guys if you guys want to take this serious, right? What's the YouTube? It's in the bio. I don't know if I'm able to say it out loud because I don't want TikTok to ban me. I don't know if that's a thing. I've heard people say that TikTok kind of restricts you if you talk about another platform on the stream, but it's in the bio if you wanna click it. I don't want to be annoying and say click the link in the bio, but like I don't know what I could say or can't say on. Can you type it in the chat? I mean I could type it in the chat. You're actually right because I don't have to click the link. I could just type it in the chat. Yeah, that's true. Be careful. Okay, yeah. So yeah, but I could just, I guess, type the name in the chat. That is the name of it in the chat. Good morning, Mr. Mike. What's up, my brother? Okay, so once again, the definition of a zone of consolidation. A zone of consolidation is an area in the market where the market makers are trapping traders. They're inducing traders to get into a trade to hunt for their stop losses. That's the definition of a zone of consolidation. Now, again, the characteristics of a zone of consolidation is sideways movement, right? It's either sideways movement or what we talked about last week, the three different variations of what a zone of consolidation looks like. Because not every single time is a zone of consolidation going to be sideways movement, right? It could be sideways movement. That's the one that everybody knows. It could be the TFR, the trap falls real, or it could be the shoulder head shoulder pattern, whether it's a shoulder head shoulder, a bearish or a bullish shoulder head shoulder, right? Those are the three different variations of a zone of consolidation. So with that being said, with NZD CAD, we know that we're just in sideways movement, not only on the 30, but on the 4-hour and on the daily time frame. So for me, this is one pair. And this is why I always say, like, I'm not married to one pair. Because if I was a trader and the one pair I look at is NZD CAD, I wouldn't have any A+ setups to take on NZD CAD. I wouldn't have had any A+ setups to take on NZD CAD for a whole year. We've been in the zone of consolidation for a whole year. Let's just say from this bottom, right? This whole area is a zone of consolidation. But let's just talk about if we just zoom in and we look at this. Like we've been literally in a zone of consolidation since January. Just look how crazy these moves are. And when you're looking at the candles, price isn't even really moving. It's just throwing candlesticks. It's throwing wicks everywhere. It's just trapping traders the entire time, right? So that's the reason why I don't, I will never be the one. I will never be that person to tell you, oh, just look at one pair. Just look at one pair. Nah, look at as many pairs as you can. The more pairs you look at, the better. Because again, you'll be able to, the way we just did it now, right? Out of the 15, 16 pairs that we have on our list, right? We only have 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have 5 pairs left to really look at. And realistically 4 because NAS I'm not looking at right now, right? Out of the 15 pairs that we have on our list, Most of them already hit ADR. Some of them already made the move for the day, and some of them could just be moving sideways. So being able to look at more than just one pair, I think my YouTube just crashed. Yeah, Chris, I got you. My bad. Oh, I have to verification code. Give me a second. I'm not trying to dox myself either, so let me open this up on another screen real quick before I do anything. What'd you want to see specifically on it? Like literally just hmm. Let me sign into my other account. I don't want to dox myself. I don't want to. There's too much information on here that I just can't. Let me sign into what's my other username. Okay, I can do this account. Oh, they have a demo. They have a demo contest going on. $10,000 account. Hold on, let me read into this. This is dope. Nova, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Can you show an example of a good trend? Yeah, I got you. I just pulled up the YouTube stream on my monitor so I can see it more in depth. All right, cool. I appreciate that. Just a run through of where things are. I got you. Damn, they have a little contest going on, a 10K contest. How do I contest demo? When does it start? It started. Oh, it started today already. Okay, cool. All right, bet. I'm gonna start trading on this account too. I'm gonna open it on here. You get the top 10 traders get something. First place gets 5,000. Second place gets 2,500. Third gets 1,000. Fourth through 10th get a $500. Wow, I'm so down for that. People already started taking trades. Yeah, some people already up 200%. Damn. Grinders, man. Grinders. Guy in 10th has 70%. We could do that. We could win. Facts. Okay, so all right, I was able to sign into this account here. Yeah, so I don't have any of my information here. All right, hold on. I have to mute another word on the TikTok stream. I'm also gonna mute the word Telegram. So if you guys use the word Telegram, you're gonna get banned. Okay, so is Hero Effects on the? I don't. That's a great question. I don't think they have an app. I could be wrong, but Hero Effects is just it's just a website. So it's not like you'll be taking trades on the Hero FX website. I believe you'll be able to trade it. You can have Trade Locker. Yeah, yeah. Hero FX isn't gonna. I don't think it's gonna be on the App Store or anything like that. It's literally just the website. The trading account you'll get with them, you'll be able to trade with Trade Locker. So once you open up here, I'll show you here. Um, And I don't use this account, so you guys can't try to log into my account and shit. Be scammers and stuff. Um, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see. Add source. Display capture. Capture the whole monitor. Add. And then capture cursor. Display one. Add source. Okay. Then let me pull up this on the second monitor. Okay, so this is the website, right? This is the website. You'll be able to, for example, they have this, what I was just talking about now. I signed up for this and I'll show you the account for that. They have like little contests, demo contests. So like even if you don't want to use a real account, right, you could use these contests. This is really good. I like that they do this. I didn't even know that they were doing this. Um, they'll give you a $10,000 demo account, and then if you place in the top 10, they'll give you an account with the equity of whatever you place. So if you get first, you get a $5,000 equity, so on and so forth. This is really good. And then that account, I just opened it now. You could see that contest, right? So you have the account here. You go to the accounts to open up the account. This is where once you make an account and you open it, they'll send you an email with the login, the server that you use on TradeLocker, and then your password is going to be the pass. I think they send you your first password if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty much what this is. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's really not a lot I could show you here. Um, Sorry, what strategy do you use? I use market maker's pattern. Kai. I use market maker's pattern. That's the foundation of what I trade. And then I use, candlestick analysis, market structure, different patterns in the market. But market maker's pattern is the foundation of what I trade and what I look for. Eight a.m. Let's see if we could see anything. Yeah, if you click on the blue trade button, it takes you to TradeLocker. It'll open up the TradeLocker. Now TradeLocker, it has a website, but it also has the app. So I use the app, as you can see. I have it downloaded here on my computer. I have it on my computer and I have it on my phone as well. Mm. 'Are they two separate accounts, or do I just need a Hero FX account to trade? Like, is TradeLocker just the platform here? Yeah, yeah. So TradeLocker is just the platform. Once you download TradeLocker, um, let's say you go to Hero FX. I'll give you the example. No, you don't need a TradeLocker account, right? So the TradeLocker account that you'll get to sign in, you'll get that from the broker. So once you go to Hero FX and you open up an account, they'll send you the login information that you need, and that's the information that you'll put on TradeLocker. And then a good example of a trend, we could use US 30 or gold, because they've been pretty much trending for the last couple months. Um, and the good example of, like, even now or right now, we still kind of are trending, but we're in a little area where price doesn't really want to move from here. So you can see, like, the beginning of the week of the 9th of August, right? We were in this little range, which we kind of still are. So this isn't really a good example, but like a trend, right? When you look at the last couple weeks and couple months of US 30 or even gold, where we could see price making higher highs and higher lows the entire time, right? We could see price higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low the entire time. right? Where again, obviously price has to give you a little inducement to then continue the trend, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Then you'll be able to go into a pair like, let's look at EuroCAD, right? Some slight consolidation, but that happens, right? Again, the market isn't always going to give you crystal clear uptrends and downtrends the entire time, right? The market has to give the inducements, right? The market has to give the manipulations to then continue, right? When you look at a pair like EuroCAD, you can see how there wasn't really a trend here. Let me turn off these session breaks, right? You can see how with EuroCAD for the last, like pretty much at the beginning of the year, there's really no trend, right? We've been stuck in this range the entire time where price is rejecting the lows, rejecting the highs, just moving sideways in this area, going back to the lows, rejecting the lows, and then doing what? Going back to the middle and just moving sideways. There's no trend here, right? So this is why, this is why it's very important as well to go down, to go up, right? To go from the higher time frames down to the lower time frames. Because if you don't go to the higher time frames and you're just stuck on the 30-minute, right? And you go to the 30-minute and you just zoom in and you're just super zoomed in, or you're just looking at this little piece, you're gonna think, oh, we're downtrending, right? But when in reality, when you zoom in and you really look at what price is doing, it's like we've been trapped. Let's just look at the last couple weeks, right? Since June, right? We've just been trapped between these highs and these lows the entire time, right? The entire time. Right. So um gotta do use 30 minutes to look for those trends. It's a mix, right? So yeah, so I didn't notice how much you zoomed out. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a mix. It's a mix. I go from the daily to the 4 hour down to the 30-minute. Right? And then the only times you'll see me go to the 5-minute or the 1 minute is when I'm ready to start looking to take trades. When I'm looking for my entries, there'll be some times where I don't need to go down to the 5-minute or the 1 minute. We could take trades on the 30-minute. We could take trades on the 15-minute. Depends on the entry model that we're using for that day, for that specific day, for that specific entry. But to look at the trends, the zones of consolidations, where we're at, what we could expect the market to go, I'll be looking from the daily to the 4 hour to the 30-minute time frame. All right, so real quick, let me update these pairs, get ready to start looking for some trades maybe. Again, GJ for me, I don't really like it, right? Why? Because we're still trading on a 30-minute. We're still trading between, again, this lower low, lower high, lower low. So again, technically market structure, we're still on a downtrend, but when we're looking at what's going on with price action, we are pretty much uptrending, right? Because we had a zone of consolidation, we had the break of the zone of consolidation, we had the retest, right? And this is pretty much the continuation. And again, right now, where are we? We're back at the high of the day. Not only are we at the high of the day, but we're at the high of the day of Friday. So regardless, for me, before I even look for any trades, even if we could say, oh, this is going to be, this could be a type 2 pattern where it's a zone of consolidation through Asia and London session. It gives you the break, it gives you the retest to then continue. We could say that, but am I expecting it? No, because again, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. So for me to sit here and say, oh, we're going to be looking for buy positions when price is still in a lower low, lower high, it doesn't really make any sense, right? So could we flip this and say, okay, well, if we're still making, give me 1 second, guys. If we're still making lower lows and lower highs, then okay, could we um no, I did that wrong. From the 1 to the 30. Could we say, all right, we could look for shorts. Yeah, we could say, okay, instead of this being a type 2 pattern on an uptrend, we could sit here and say that this is going to be a type 1 pattern for a downtrend. Where again, a type 1 pattern is when price consolidates through Asia and London session, gives you a break of the highs, and then gives you the downtrend pushes. Right? The same move that we saw in US 30, the same move that we saw in NAS 100. It happens on a lot of pairs. Right? So that's what I'll be pretty much just waiting to see, right? Does price want to give us a type 1 pattern for a downtrend? And then we'll see that on the lower time frame. So when we go to the lower time frames, we are still trading higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Then price gave me higher low into these higher highs here. So let's see if the 1 minute looks a little bit better. I don't really like going to the 1 minute on GJ because GJ is such a big pair. I don't know if this is asking too much, but what's your highest take profit trade over years of trading? To this day, oh, I'm sorry. Mike says, I got the web subscription. What are the best times for you to do one-on-ones? So right now, Mike, the best times. What time zone are you, Mike? What time is it right now where you're at? That'll help me a lot. For the most part, Mike, I'm not gonna lie to you. The best times to do it with me are going to be at night. So anytime after, let's say 8 p.m., that works the best for me. However, I'll work with you, right? If it's 8 a.m. for you, okay, so you're Eastern time. That's perfect. The best times for me is really after 8 p.m. Not only because it works for a lot of people, a lot of people who just got home from work or got home from work at 6, 7 p.m. It gives them time to get home, cook. A lot of people, for the most part, most of the people that are in our group have families. So it gives them time to, put their kids to sleep, make food, make dinner, do whatever, and then hop on the charts. So that's really why that time is a lot better for me. However, if whatever time works for you, as long as you just let me know in advance so I could clear my schedule and I'll have my schedule set up for you, we could do that as well. But again, like the nighttime schedule would be a lot easier for me. 8:30, 9 p.m. I know it's a little late. So again, I'll work with you. Whatever time works for you, you just let me know. And then on the 1 minute time frame, we're pretty much trading in the same area on the 1 minute time frame. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price gave us higher low into these higher highs here on the 1 minute. So I'm just gonna keep this on the 1 minute. And then we'll be a little aggressive here with this. We'll just come back to this. And for us to get that to start looking for shorts, I need to start seeing the lower lows and lower highs. So right now we are still trading higher high, higher low, and higher high, right? So if price could come back up to these highs here, give us an inducement, right? And then we could say that this is higher high, higher low down here, and then price starts making these downtrends in this area. This would be the best time, the best thing that could happen with GJ. That'll be the easiest trade to take on the 1 minute time frame. So we'll be patient with it. And again, we're just back at the highs of the day. We're back at Friday's high. So we'll just be patient. And then Mike also, the easiest thing is whatever time works for you, right? The easiest thing to do is to choose a time that we could consistently, like, just to give you an example, if you want to do Tuesday at 8 p.m., right? Just to give you an example, if you choose Tuesday 8 p.m., make sure that it's a time that you could do on a week-to-week basis, right? So then that way we know like every Tuesday or every other Tuesday we'll be able to show up at 8 p.m. and we'll be ready for that session, if that makes sense. So just if you want, just on Discord, you could just message me on Discord. Message me what day, what time works best for you. And that way we could set that up for every time we do the session. We'll do it at that time every single time. Like the one, I'll say this too, I'll give you the schedule. The one day right now that I'm booked for is Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Wednesdays at 10 p.m. I do a one-on-one session with a student already every week or every other week. Oh, my bad, Chris. To answer that question, my biggest trade still to this day is a Bitcoin trade that I took about 2 years ago. Um, it was a lot. It was a lot. Let's just say number wise. If you caught that on stream, it's too many ops out here, Chris. It's too many. But that's still to this day my biggest trade. I've gotten close. I've gotten close with gold. I've gotten close with US 30, but I haven't reached that yet. I did it with Bitcoin. I probably still have that screenshot somewhere. I'll look for it. Is I wouldn't say life changing. I mean, like, yes, life changing, because if you've never seen that type of number before, especially in one sitting, it's definitely it sets you up, right? Like, again, for me it's different because it wasn't like it wasn't something like, oh, you got lucky, you'll never do it again, right? It's not one of those situations where you took that trade once, like what a lot of people do with prop firms, pretty much, right? Like they'll have one really good month with a prop firm and they'll be able to cash out 10,000, 12,000, and then they lose the account and then they just blow the profits that they made trying to buy more accounts and getting lucky again. So it's not one of those situations. So it set me up to be able to have more capital in my account, especially because this happened in a time where prop firms weren't as big as they are now. So it allowed me to fund my live account and just have enough money in there to be comfortable, if that makes sense. So I guess in a way it was life changing because again it set me up for success. But what risk to reward ratio do you normally use? So again, I use mainly ADR, right? With ADR, we'll use STP. So with that being said, I don't have a set risk to reward. Like I don't take a trade and think like, oh, I'm only gonna catch a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 or a 1-to-3. Like I'm gonna catch whatever the market is giving me. So like for example, like that Nash trade from last week, and we could go down the list of all the other trades. But Tom, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Right, like this trade setup here with the engulfing candle on the lower time frame, right, having a 24 pip stop loss, and then STP for this day. You can see I had it calculated here, right? I believe STP was the 42 pips, right? So this trade was a 1-to-15. Now, am I catching 1-to-15s every single day or every single time I trade? No, right? Some trades could be a 1-to-3 or 1-to-4. Normally, I will say this: I don't take a trade if it's a 1-to-1. Like if there's a trade setup and it's only a 1-to-1, I'm not gonna take it. I don't like that. It's not really worth it in my opinion, right? In my case, there are people who like to trade 1-to-1s. There's people who trade 1-to-2s. Minimum that I'll take on a setup would be a 1-to-3. So like minimum would be a 1-to-3, but the max RR is just again depends on STP, depends on ADR, depends on what my stop loss is for that specific trade. It could be a 1-to-4 or 1-to-6. It could be those 1-to-10s, 1-to-15s. So it just really depends. Again, I don't have a set RR. Like I don't take a trade and look at, oh, I'm only gonna catch a 1-to-1. Like I'm looking at the pair and I'm looking at STP. I'm looking at ADR for the day. It's like, okay, for example, GJ 187 is ADR. 187 minus 33% is 125 pips. So I know for today on GJ, I'll be looking at 125 pips. 125 pips. Right? So 125 pips would be what I'm targeting to put my take profit. Right? And to give you the example, let's say we're looking for buy positions. Right? I'll have my marker from the low of the day to the top since I'm looking for buys. And let's say we have a simple just retest of the zone. Just to give you an example, right? Let's say we have a retest of the zone of consolidation. Our stop loss, whatever. Let's say just have something generic here, right? And I'll be putting my TP here. So if this trade here, something like this, right, below the wick, below the 50 EMAs would be the stop loss. This would be a 1-to-8 trade. You trade options. I do trade options, but I trade it on the broker. So for example, with the Hero FX broker, I'm able to trade a few options. I'm able to trade a few stock option pairs. So like Tesla, Nvidia, and Apple. Those are the three main ones that I keep an eye on. I don't trade them regularly, but I do trade them. Again, not every single day, but I do keep an eye on them for the most part. No, I don't use Robinhood. I did at the beginning, right? Like that's sorry, give me a second. Um, I have used TradingView in the past, but I don't trade stock to hold them. For the most part, again, I day trade them. So if I'm trading Apple or Tesla or Nvidia, I'm looking to get into a trade the same way I would if I was trading, NQ or S&P or whatever. I'm looking to get into the trade and I'm looking to get out of the trade that same day, right? The same session. Okay, so GJ will be waiting for this. I'm going to keep this line here on the 30-minute, which this really should be the 5-minute, but it's okay. And then we could go back to the 1-minute time frame here because we did go back to these highs. Did we? Yep. All right, so you can see how now we have the inducement of these highs and now we're trading between this low here. So what am I looking for, right? For this to be a valid type 1 pattern, right? I want to see price, right? We have higher high, higher low, and then these highs whenever they're set. If price comes down and gives us a lower low, this lower low here would be a change of character, right? Lower low, lower high. Then price is going to give us a lower low break of structure. After price gives us this lower low break of structure, this is where I'll start looking to take these trades to go back down to the bottom. So this is what I'll be looking for on the lower time frame. Let me know if that made sense, guys. Okay, so yeah, see, I just explained that right now. What do you look for to know when to enter? Yeah, so I'm looking for the retest. There's a few things that I'm looking for, right? It depends on the entry criteria. There's a few things that I'm looking at, right? It could be John, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. Right? It could just be a simple retest of the break of structure. It could be an engulfing candle, right? A retest of the engulfing candle. It could be a simple retest of the EMAs as well. I don't only use the EMAs for the most part. Like if I catch a trade based off the EMAs, it's because it was lined up with something else, right? It's just another confluence to have on the chart. It could be the retracement of the fibs, right? A 50% retracement. Depends on structure, right? If we have like if the market prints like a flag post pattern, right? If it prints a bearish flag post pattern, I'll be looking for my entry between the 23.6 and the 38.2 retracement of the fib levels. So it just depends on the entry model for that day. I appreciate your twin. Nobody doing this. People want people to pay. Again, it sucks. I know it does. You smell? All right, Kendall. I don't smell. I showered, but I appreciate it. Um, best female trader, yo. I was telling somebody yesterday I'm about to buy the fake boobs and just be popping them up on. I don't know if I could do. Oh, I just said boobs on TikTok. I might get banned. This is bad. We already started off bad. Might get restricted out here. Anyway, you know what I'm going with that. I don't know how much I could say on TikTok before I get restricted again. I do. I didn't shower. Come on, Kendall. I do gotta chill. Nah, but I've been doing good. Like you see, that's the problem. Like when you get too comfortable on YouTube and you get too comfortable on Twitch, then you hop on TikTok and you feel like you can say the same thing. You can't. You gotta tone it down a lot. It's a lot of things that TikTok does not let fly by. Might not be able to pay attention anymore. Yeah. What does the Monopoly poster say in the background? Take the risk or lose the chance. And then it has our device logo on it. Take the risk or lose the chance. Facts. Where'd you cop it? Um, I designed it and then I printed it. I think I got that shit on China, but I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I got that one on AliExpress. Like I made the design, like I photoshopped it with the Vice logo, so it could be like instead of I don't know if, I'm pretty sure you can't see it on the camera, but on the dice, instead of it being the, it has 1, 2, and 3. Instead of it having the 3, I put the Vice logo on it so it could be the three stripes. And then the E of the chance at the bottom, instead of it being the letter E, it's the Vice logo, since the Vice logo, instead of it being the letter E, is the 3 stripes of the logo. Can we back to the charts? My bad. I forgot we were doing chart work. I'm not gonna lie. So GJ, that's what we're looking for. So we'll be patient with GJ. Let's go look at US 30 real quick. And US 30, I'm not really in a rush to trade. Well, there's no news today, so I'll be waiting for the 9:30 open to trade US 30 anyway. But just to base it off of where we're at and what we're looking for, we know that US 30, in order for these sell biases to be stronger and to make a lot more sense, I want to see price give us a valid break of these lows. Right, again, price came down, gave us the inducement candle, which was this long red candle that printed on Thursday. Then we were looking for another candle to break below these lows here. Right, we still don't have it. This candle that printed 30 minutes ago. Oh, this 30-minute candle that printed still did not close below, right? It's closed above. Now, this 30-minute candle, we have 14 minutes for it to print. If it gives us that valid break, then my bias will be shorts for US 30, and we'll be looking for those sell positions. Let's go down into the 5-minute time frame. On the 5-minute, we had the change, and then again, same thing even here on the 5-minute. We're looking for a valid break below these lows, which we do not have just yet. Could we say that this candle, technically this red one that printed at 810, could we technically say that this is a valid break? Yes, because it closed below. However, it's a doji candle, so it's not a strong candle. When you're looking at candlestick analysis, a break candle needs to be a strong candle. This is a doji candle, so I don't really like this break just yet on the 5-minute. So we still got a few more minutes to just wait. We'll look at US 30 again in the next 30-minute candle at 8:30. And we'll see if price gave us that valid break. If it gave us that valid break and it gives us that valid break on the 5-minute, we'll be looking for price to give us that retest to then continue. Take the risk on what? That's pretty good if you ask me. Thank you, thank you. Can we get back to the chart? Yeah. Dope promo for your brand. Yeah, it's really good. It's really nice. Can you show the trends for this again? Yeah, I got you. So for US 30 overall, let's start from the daily down to the 4-hour, right? So we understand where we're at. So, and you're good, bro. You don't have to apologize asking questions. Again, that's what I'm here for. So literally don't feel bad for asking questions. Ask as many questions as you need, because I promise you the same questions you have is the same question that somebody else may have, and they're just not asking for whatever reason. So please don't apologize for asking questions. In order to win the lottery, you need money to buy a ticket. Yo, Shikai, I don't know what to say to that, Shikai. You know what? You're not wrong though. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Um, could you give an example of how setting a trade works through Trade Locker? I'm not sure if the layout's the same as TradingView. It's pretty much the same. It's very similar. I could open up this here. Let me see. Well, I'll do that now. Let me do this shit first. Am I signed into the right account? I'm not. Let me sign into that $10,000 account real quick though. That little contest account. What? Yo, if we win that, I'll do a little giveaway on the stream. Get a free 1,000. What is it? 5,000 for first place. I'm gonna win. Watch. It's pretty much the same though. If you open up Trade Locker, you'll be able to. What's good about Trade Locker that I like more about TradingView, when you're about to take a trade, like you're able to drag your stop loss, you're able to drag your take profit, and you'll be able to see where your profit and your losses are, and like you'll be able to edit it. So like on TradingView, you're not really able to edit your stop loss and your TP as easy. But you could do it on Trade Locker. It's very simple on Trade Locker. It's from Nightcrawler the movie. Unfortunately, I didn't watch that. How do you short? Pressing the sell button. I don't know how to answer that question. Could you give your analysis on what NQ is doing? I got you. Do you click sell and then buy? I mean, to short, you just click sell. But I think you're asking that because it might be different if you're trading options or if you're trading Well, if you're trading options, I think it might be different, but like on the futures or the forex side of it, yeah, it's just stocks. Yeah, exactly. With stocks, it might be a little bit different. Um, I've seen that though. It is a little bit different when you're trading stocks, but when you're trading futures or when you're trading forex, you have literally two buttons. You have the buy button to go into the long positions, and then you have the sell button to go into the short positions. You don't have to you don't have to click sell first and then buy. I know what you're asking because I do remember when I was learning small cap trading with options, and that was something I was confused with at first. But no, when you're trading futures or forex, you have two buttons, buy and sell. You buy to go long and then you sell to go short. You only got to click one button. But yeah, Julian, I can give you my analysis on NQ. All right, real quick. So to give you the example of like what the trend is on US 30. So for example, US 30 right now, we know we're still on an uptrend, right? We know price is still, again, everything is color coordinated. The daily time frame is gray, the 4 hour time frame is blue, the 30-minute time frame is red, right? So we know that we're trading higher high, higher low on the daily time frame into these higher highs. So we know that right now US 30, we're just sitting at a higher high, right? And after price goes into a higher high, what does price need to do? I'll give you guys 15 seconds in the chat to answer that question. When price goes into a higher high, what is price supposed to do next when you're looking at market structure? Thanks, no problem, TM. So if you click buy or sell, do you choose how much you want to sell or buy in for? Yeah. Yeah, you'll be able to change your lot size, and it'll tell you there as well. Like if let's say you place your stop loss and you place your TP before you take the actual trade, you could change your lot size, right? So like let's say you put a $10 lot size or a 10-cent lot size, it'll tell you beforehand. Like if you have a 10-cent lot size, this is where your stop loss is gonna be. So you'll be able to know how much you're risking before you place the trade. Lower low retest. Okay, wrong. Holy shit. After a higher high, right? The retest, right? When you get the retest, price is gonna go from higher high to higher low, right? When price goes higher high, goes higher low, right? Higher high, higher low, retest, higher high, higher low, right? So right now on US 30, that's pretty much what we're looking at, right? We know that we're trading higher high, higher low, right? Higher high. And right now we're just looking to see how far back, how steep the pullback is going to be, right? Where the higher low could be at. Can you explain lot size with an example of some trading with like 100 to 200? Yeah, so like it depends again, it depends on the pair you're trading, right? But if you have $100 account, I'll give you the example. If you have $100 account and you trade with a 10 cent lot size, right? You do 10 cents and then you multiply that by, let's say, the pips that you're risking. So if you're risking 20 pips, right, it'll be 0.10 times 200. So 0.10 times 200, that's what your stop loss would be. And let me know if that what I explained with the higher high, higher low, let me know if that makes sense, right? So here on the 4 hour, we know we're still trading higher high, higher low, and higher high. So again, right now, these short positions, this confirmation of the shorts that we're looking for, it's pretty much, I'm just waiting for the market to let me know. Are we going to, is this where the higher low is going to be set to continue to make higher high? Or are we going to go lower and continue to give short positions before price gives us a set higher low, right? So again, we still got 6 minutes. We still have 6 minutes. If this candle prints below the wick, if the body closes below the wick, we'll have that confirmation that price is most likely going to want to go a little bit lower. So for how many pips do I have, add a zero after that and multiply it by the lot size? Yeah. So if you have, again, the 10-cent lot size, you do 0.10. Let's say that your stop loss is 15, right? If your stop loss is 15 pips, you do 0.10 times 150. But see, that's why I like Trade Locker, because with Trade Locker, you know how long it's been that I haven't had to explain like lot sizes? It's been so long. But that's why I like Trade Locker, because back then when we were using MT4, I think MT5 has that too now. But when we were using MT4, you had to manually know how to calculate it. But with Trade Locker, it's pretty simple now. You literally just place whatever lot size you want, you place your stop loss, and it tells you automatically how much you're risking. Um, but for lot size, what does a 0.10 lot size equal to a $100 account? See, that I don't know. I can't really answer that question because I'm not 100% sure. But again, it depends on the pair. So I don't know. Maybe you can. I know you could on S&P, but I'll give you the example. With a $100 account, I don't even think they'll let you open up. If you trade mini, yeah. So if you trade US 30, for example, if you trade the US 30 Pro account or the US 30 Pro symbol, you won't be able to open up a trade with $100 account because the margins are way too large, right? The risk to trade US 30, that Pro symbol, is gonna be way too big. Um, so you'll just have to pretty much when you open up the account, Chris, add the pairs that you want to add, and then check if you're even able to open up a trade with it. I think you'll be able to do NQ though, because it's very similar to S&P, and you could trade S&P with a $100 account. Now the lot size might be different, right? You might not be able to open up a 10-cent lot size on NQ, but you'll be able to do 2 cents, 5 cents. You should be able to check by typing 0.01 to see how much that would cost. Then just, yeah, exactly. That's the easiest way to do it. So we got 3 minutes for US 30. Let's go to gold real quick. Again, gold and silver for the day or for the week at least. We know we have a third week high, so I am gonna be having a little long bias at least for right now. This is the start of the week. We don't really have any clear movements right now that really tell me where price wants to go. However, we have a little bias that's telling us that price is most likely going to give us a third week push to the top side. Now, for today specifically, again, I don't really have a clean bias. All we have is a change of character back to the top side, and I want to see a valid break. Right now, for the last couple hours, pretty much from last night, price has just been in this sideways movement. We can see that price tapped into this 30-minute engulfing, but again, without that break of structure after the change of character, these entries would be very low probability, right? And just because we have a point of interest, just because we have an engulfing candle, and just because price gave us a retest, doesn't mean I'm getting into this trade automatically, right? Before I get into a trade, I need to make sure that price is following my rules. And is price following my rules for gold? No. Right? Is price following the rules for silver right now? No. So at this moment, I know that no matter what, I don't care that silver, I don't care that gold went into my point of interest where I would want to look for my entry. Right? There's a few things I need to wait for, and again, for the main thing I'm looking for is a change of character and a valid break of structure to happen before I take a trade. Ariana, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. For example, NZD CAD 0.01 costs 17.75. Just kind of how much you could get with 100. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm not sure if TradingView has a 10 minimum or not, but I couldn't do minis or S&P. On TradingView, that's weird. You should have been able to do that on TradingView. But I'm also not 100% sure because I don't really use TradingView a lot to take trades. I use Trade Locker for the most part. And so gold and silver are pretty much in the same. So we'll keep an eye on US 30 and GJ. That'll be my two pairs for the day. There's a lot of volume that came in now right before the 8:30 30-minute candle. Gave us a valid break, lower low, lower high, gave us a third push, low. We're looking for a valid break. This is good. We got a minute and 7 seconds. I'm gonna try to sign up for that 10K demo, see if I can familiarize myself with it. And here effects, that's the best thing to do. And even if you can't sign up for the 10K, like the contest, you could still open up a demo account. Whether it's 10K, 5K, that'll be the best thing to do, to be honest. Get comfortable with the platform, get comfortable with the margins, all of that. NASA's moving. Lied to me. Definitely won't get top 10, but it'll be good practice. Yeah. Now, NAS is moving though. NAS is moving. I'm not comfortable trading NAS yet. Like I am, but I'm not. Like I don't really, since I don't really trade NAS like that. I just need to update it. That's really all that it is at the end of the day. I just need to update this fucking pair, right? Because we had a change of character to the bottom side, and then we had a change of character to the top side, and then price gave us the inducement of the high here, so we know that we have a 30-minute change of character. Or this is a 5-minute. Sorry. Whoops. On the 30, we had change, change. Okay. On the 5-minute, we have a change of character here. Right, and then technically lower low. I don't want to mark this up as lower low, lower high, lower low though. I would want to see a little bit of a steeper pullback. And then we also have an engulfing candle, maybe? No, not a valid engulfing. Red candle doesn't have a top wick on it, so not valid. Let's check the 1 minute. If we could have the 50 cross, yeah. So on the 1 minute, this will make a lot more sense to mark up that way. All right, so on the 1 minute, I'll be able to mark this up. Again, we got the inducement of the high. Then price gave us a change of character, lower low, lower high. And then price gave us a lower low here, right? 50 below the 200, we're on the 800. This is where I would be looking for the valid break of structure on the 1 minute time frame. What time is it? 8:31. Let's go look at US 30 real quick. And I'll be looking for a valid break below this wick here to then start looking for a trade. And then US 30. What upper side is this? This is trading view for the charts. Can you explain what minis are and if they're better or worse? So they're not better or worse. It just again depends on your account size. So like, for example, you could trade US 30 mini if it doesn't let you trade the regular US 30 Pro symbol. Just understand with the minis, you're gonna be making a little bit less than you would if you were trading the Pro account. Now it doesn't make it better or worse. It just depends on your account size. Again, you're trading the same symbol, you're trading the same chart. The only difference is the amount that you're gonna either win or you're gonna lose. Is the only difference. So here on the 30, we got a valid break. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Sorry about that. I was a little locked in when you asked me about what app we were using. On the 5-minute, we got the valid break. Right, that valid break was given over here, so we'll see if we can get a nice little retest. Again, at this point, taking a trade at a lower low, not the best thing to do, right? After a lower low is set, you want to see a lower high. You want to see a retest, right? So we'll see if we can get a little pullback on US 30. We still got an hour for that NYC open, so I'm going to be giving it a little bit. Again, at this point, taking a trade at these lows doesn't make any sense, right? Taking a trade at a lower low, I want to see a pullback. So we'll see if price... First thing is, do we have any engulfing candles on the higher time frames? We know we don't have any on the lower time frame. Nothing on the 1 hour. No, I'm pretty sure nothing on the 4 hour either, yeah. 30-minute, no engulfing candles on the 30. So starting off with minis on a low leverage account would be best until I make enough profit to go big. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Nothing on the 15, nothing on the 5-minute. Okay. Yeah, so we just gotta be patient. Just wait it out. Wait for that retest to be given before we take anything. On NAS, we're looking for a valid break on the 1 minute. Let's go look at GJ real quick. For those of you guys just joining us, any questions, let me know. If you guys haven't followed the stream yet, please feel free to do so. I would really appreciate it. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, please like the stream. I would really appreciate it as well. And everything we do here is free, so if you guys want to join the Discord is in the link in the bio. And then GJ, we're still trading higher high and higher low here, so we'll be patient. Once again, I'm looking for the change of character and the break to be given at the lows. So we're looking at GJ, US 30, gold, and then silver. We'll turn silver off. We'll keep the main three on. GJ, US 30, and GJ, US 30, and whatever the other pair is. Fucking gold. All of these charts tie into one another in some way. Or are you keeping an eye on a couple? Right now I'm keeping an eye on the specific three. For the most part, some pairs, the correlations would be very similar, but again, what's going on politically, a lot of things going on worldwide, a lot of correlations, a lot of these pairs that usually move very similarly, right, are moving a little bit different, right? And then vice versa. Some of the pairs that a couple months ago, if one goes up, the other goes down, the correlations. Overall, what I'm trying to say, the correlations of different pairs right now is looking a lot different than what it did a couple months ago. So whenever I'm looking at specific charts, I'm looking at those charts individually, right? So like I'll give you an example. Like usually crypto and the indexes move the same. Or I'll give you one even better. Usually the indexes move the same when you're looking at US 30, S&P, or NAS, right? Or if you trade futures, if you're looking at YM, ES, or NQ, right? Usually the indexes move literally the exact same. But when you look at US 30 and then you compare the US 30 chart to S&P and NAS, S&P and NAS are moving completely different. And if you look at the S&P chart and you look at the NAS chart, they're moving the exact same way. So, but again, for me, it's a little bit easier just to keep an eye on each individual pair, just to see, like, obviously, if I'm looking for this rule to happen on US 30, I want to make sure that if my analysis is the same on NQ, I need to see that same thing happen on NQ, right? So US 30, we're looking for a valid break. We got the valid break, but we got the valid break when price is at a lower low, right? So at this moment, I can't take a short position when price is at a lower low, because we know that at a lower low, when you're looking at market structure, what does price need to do? If price is making lower low, lower high, right? Lower low, after it's at a lower low, it's going to give you a pullback back to the top side to give you a lower high point to then continue the trend back to the bottom. So it's just about really being able to capitalize and being able to realize, like, could your trade work if we take a short position at those lows? Essentially, could the trade work, right? Yeah, it could work. But understanding that you have a 50% chance of price making lower low and then giving you a lower high point, right? Giving you a pullback, you don't really want to take that trade where you have a 50% chance of it going your way, or you have a 50% chance of it going the opposite way. Shakai says there's a valid break on NAS. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, we're looking for this valid break. We got the valid break. So again, very similar to what we were saying about US 30. At this point, I want to see a pullback. Would love to see a pullback. If we could get a nice little pullback, that would be the most ideal situation. Right now, we do have a 4-hour engulfing candle that could print. That would be a good point of interest to start looking for those trades there. The 5-minute could also be a good one to keep an eye on. It looks like the price, we'll see that price. It gave us a change of character. We'll be looking for a retest, right? And then giving us a valid break. That'll give price enough time for the 50 to cross below the 200. Again, the 1 minute looks perfect already, right? We broke below the 800. We broke below the BOS. The 50's crossing below the 200. Looks good. The only thing missing right now for NAS is just to get a little pullback. If we get price to give us a nice pullback, that would be very, very ideal. And then here on the 1 minute, we have a nice engulfing candle here. Price hasn't given us the retest, so Even if price decides to give us a little inducement of the 1 minute time frame, that would be very fun to have. But I don't think we'll get a pullback here at this point. Think that'll be a little bit too steep, especially for a day where there's no news. I don't think we'll get this type of pullback here. So we'll just be patient. So again, at this point, US 30 and NAS, we just gotta wait it out just a little bit. Oh, that's a good stretch. And then for GJ here, we just gotta wait for price to turn around, start making lower lows and lower highs before we take a trade. So we got 40 minutes, 50 minutes for the 9:30 NYC Open. So we'll be a little bit patient with it at this point. Finally got the moves that we were looking for, so we'll see if we get the pullbacks. And then again for GJ, we'll just wait it out to see if price wants to continue these uptrends or if this is where price is going to turn around and start giving us a little type 1 pattern up to the downtrend. But any other questions, guys, let me know. For those of you guys in the streams, if you haven't followed yet, please follow. If you guys haven't joined the Discord too, again, the Discord is completely free to join. So if you guys want to join the Discord, the link is in the bio. For one-on-ones, I have two separate options for the one-on-ones. The one-on-ones I do charge for. Again, the streams are free. I'll say this first because I know people. Oh, you just said it's free. Again, the streams are free, and you guys see, like, I'm literally here as answering every question you guys have in the chat. So, is a one-on-one necessary? Right? Realistically speaking, if you're somebody who's gonna be on the streams every single day and taking notes, and you're able to follow everything that we're doing on the stream, then the one-on-ones, you don't really need to do a one-on-one. However, if you want to take it seriously and you want to do the classes and you want, you know, access to everything to be able to learn a lot quicker, right? And without having to have 100 people asking different questions, the one-on-ones, I have two options. So I have $25 a month, which you'll get two one-on-one sessions, pretty much one every other week, right? The reason we do one every other week is because with the one-on-one sessions, you'll have homework to do. There's a lot of stuff you have to do. So it gives you time to not only do what you need to do, but be able to turn it in, right? And like, let's say you turn it in, you could send me a message like, hey, I'm done with the homework. If you turn it in, I'll look over it, right? And if there's something wrong or something that you need to fix, obviously, again, I'm gonna message you and be like, hey, make sure you fix this. This is what you're still missing. So you'll have access to two of the sessions. They're an hour each, once every other week, every month. Or I have the $50 a month, which is 4 sessions, so pretty much once a week. I feel like for me personally, the streams are good. They're informative, but one-on-one sessions, I will be able to ask questions on the spot, get a more in-depth guy. Absolutely, yeah, I agree. Yeah, Chris, if you're in the Discord, if you go to the Discord and just scroll down to where it says the one-on-one request, there's a one-on-one text chat. You'll be able to see that information with the link and everything else. If you don't have Discord, you could message me on either Instagram or message me on here on TikTok, and I'll send you the link to it so you can see it. I'm not, but I'll join the Discord. Okay, cool. Let me know when you join, and I'll get the notification and I'll give you the role, and then you'll be able to see everything that you need to see there. But I used to do the one-on-ones. I'm not gonna lie. I used to do the one-on-ones for free as well. But it got to the point where I was doing 20 one-on-one sessions, 20 different people, and it's like, yo, I'm not gonna say I'm wasting a lot of time, but outside of trading, I do like to do other things. So it's very difficult. It was difficult to keep that free for everybody. Um, so again, the reasons we do the streams, it is informative. I give you guys everything you need to know on the streams. But yeah, if you want to be a little bit more detailed and you want to take it a little bit more serious and really get the whole thing, right? Because like on the streams, I don't really talk about the market makers pattern, right? Because I'm not gonna spend an hour, 2 hours going over the market makers pattern, the three different levels, the two zones of consolidations, peak highs, peak lows. It's a lot of information. So at least with the one-on-one sessions, it'll be literally you'll be taking the course on the one-on-one session. Every single session you'll be learning something different, right? And if like let's say you do one-on-one session and we go over the market makers pattern is not making sense, I'm not gonna go over something new until you understand what you need to understand about the basics, right? The foundation. Once you understand the foundation, then we'll start going over something else. And then once we go over something else, and if you don't understand it, we're not gonna go on to the next lesson until you understand that how it's supposed to be, if that makes any sense. You joined the Discord, okay? I'll give you the role right now. Um, okay. Just gave you the role, so you should be able to see it. It's under the one-on-one session, the chat tab. And then on there you'll be able to see the link for it. You'll be able to read it and stuff like that. I'm not sure if this idea of is good, but maybe for session students, make a Quizlet forum with different question scenarios they have to answer. Yeah, I have one already, Chris. We used to have a website. Um, to give you a little story time. What's the word I'm looking for? To give you a little bit more whatever. We used to have a course. We used to have a website, and in the website, every student had a different. Depends on what level you are. If you're a beginner, if you're somebody who already started learning, you have different lessons. Pretty much like a school, right? And you learn lesson one. In order for you to go to lesson two, you need to take a test. If you score below a 95% on the test, you have to retake the test, and you can't go to lesson two until you pass with a 95% or higher. Then if you pass with a 95% or higher, you go to lesson two, right? And again, you have the videos, you have homework to turn in. If you turn in the homework and is incorrect, we send it back to you. We tell you to do it again. It's literally the one-on-one sessions are literally going to be like school. Because again, in trading, it's either you know the information or you know it. There's no in between. How much does well for the course? We don't have that course anymore. A couple years ago, somebody tried to hack into the website, and we had to take the website down, and we had to. I have all the videos and everything saved on the computer, but we don't have the website up and running. So for right now, the course we don't have that just yet. We've been trying to work on it and try to get the website back up. It's a lot of work. Um, I won't be able to give you the Quizlet form, but when it's time to take the test, I'll send you the form. Um, but yeah, there's no I don't really have a time. We're supposed to have it up already. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a lot because we want to re-record a lot of videos, to make it new because we've been having it since 2014, 2015. So, obviously in the last 10 years, there's new information, there's new things we need to show. Even like how to set it up, even the videos of setting up the charts. 2014, 2015, we were on MT4, we were on FX Glory, right? And then 2020, 2021 is when we started using trading views. So we need to re-record some of the videos showing up, showing how to set up the trading view chart, all those little stuff. I'm off the next couple of days, so I'll be on perfect. What's good, Suave? Welcome, my bro. That thing is you just joined, right? I haven't seen you earlier. But we'll be here, man. Again, we'll be live every single day, Monday through Friday. So having days off work, that's perfect, man. You'll have time to lock in, do what you gotta do. Here on GJ, we're still making higher highs and higher lows, guys. So right now, we're still gonna be a little bit patient. And then here for NAS, price is still just melting, right? Once it gave us that valid break of the lows, we are just continuing this push to the bottom. So again, at this point, I'm waiting for a pullback, right? I'm not gonna be looking to enter a sell position at a lower low. There's no way, right? No way I'm looking for a sell position when we're at a lower low, right? So if price could give us a valid pullback, right? If price could give us a set lower low and then give us a pullback somewhere, that'll be the easiest and the best trade to look for. Similar to US 30, right? US 30 gave us what we wanted to see. It gave us the valid break of the 30-minute low. It gave us the valid break of the lower time frame, but similar to NAS, we are still trading at a lower low. So because price is still sitting at a lower low, I can't take a sell position, right? I cannot take a sell position at a lower low, right? It gave us that 5-minute break. Once it gave us the break, it gave us a lower low. So after the lower low is set, what do I need to see? I need to see a valid pullback. Once we get the pullback, that's when I'll be trading. Is there a chance that we might not get a pullback? Yeah, of course. Right? How many times have you guys seen price? It follows your rules, it gives you what you want to see, but price just melts. Either it goes all the way down and just continues to fall, or sometimes price continues to push to the top side. It goes straight to the moon without giving you an entry, without giving you an opportunity to enter. So again, as traders, you just got to be realistic and be like, yeah, there is a probability that I might not be able to catch this trade today. There is a probability that price is just gonna fly, or it's gonna go straight into my take profit before I could even take a trade. And again, that's okay, right? That's part of being a trader, is being okay with the outcome that you might not make any money today, right? You might miss the entry today, but it's okay, because again, I'm not thinking of trading as I won money, so I won today. No, I don't think about it in money value. I'm thinking of it as I'm following my rules, right? So if I'm following my rules, I have to ask myself, did I follow my rules today? Yes. If I followed my rules today, then it's a winning day. I followed my rules. I did what I had to do. And if my rules weren't being followed on the charts, then there's no trades to take. Right? And then vice versa. If my rules were followed, and let's say my rules were followed and I didn't take a trade, that's a problem. That'll be a day where I'm like, oh, let me take a step back. Let me understand why. If my rules were followed, why didn't I take this trade? Right? Does that make sense? You ever use Fib? Yeah, I use the Fibs. I use the Fibs. But I use the Fibs again. I know I use the Fibs not differently, but a lot differently than what you would generically see online. Like, you know, um, a lot of people don't really use the Fibs the correct way. I'll put it that way. But I do use the Fib, and I use the Fib for a lot of different, depending on how the market is moving, the structure that we have. If price gives us like a flag post retracement or a flag post pattern, sorry. If you got a flag post, you know that you're gonna get a retracement between 23.6 and 38.2, right? If you have structure connected to the break that you had, you know that you'll most likely get a retracement at the golden ratio zone, which is the 50%, right, between 50 and the 61.8. I also use the discount, the premium and discount, right? Which the premium and discount is a fib retracement between 78.6 and 88.6. So I do use the fibs. I do use the fibs. The fib for me is just another confluence to have on the chart. How much do you make per month? I don't really like talking about that. Don't really, in public is kind of a lot of people who pocket watch, man. I grew up in a different environment. That's not really something I like to talk about. I don't even post it publicly, but it's enough to be comfortable. I could answer it that way. You start talking about how much you're making, bro. People start looking for you. I'm good. I don't have shit. I drive a comfortable car. I'm not flashy. I don't got no jewelry. Nothing. Nothing. So I don't got nothing. Don't come looking for me. I promise. I don't carry cash. I don't even carry a credit card or a debit card. Everything's Apple Pay. How much do you need to start off on this type of work? Honestly, like the minimum, to be honest with you, it's you don't need a lot, right? I'll give you my example. I started off with a $200 account, and I was able to grow the $200 account to what it is now. So it's not really. I gotta hit the hay. Been up all night. No problem, Chris. We'll see you tomorrow, my brother. Again, feel free to message me on Discord if you have any questions, Chris. Um, I know you asked about the one-on-ones, so if you're interested in that, just message me on Discord and we'll get to work. Um, but I appreciate you being here, Chris. So yeah, it's not really about how much you need to start off. It's really about the skill set that you have, right? The information that you have. Because you could start off with $100 account, a $200 account, and you could grow that account to thousands of dollars. But you could only do that if you have enough information. If you have the information needed to grow the account, that's really what matters in this space. Fibs are real good for options, of course. Haven't tried futures. It's the same. It's the same, Suave. You know, the way I trade Forex is the same way I trade futures, and it's the same way I trade options. You know, everything you see that I'm doing here on US 30, again, there is really no difference between Forex and futures. It's just the symbols are different. So again, like I'm trading US 30 here on Forex because I have a Forex account, but on futures is not called US 30, it's called YM. Same thing with NAS 100 is just NQ or MNQ, mini NQ or NQ. S&P on Forex is just ES on futures. So the same way that I trade here on Forex is the same way that I trade on futures. And again, the same way that I trade on futures and Forex is the same way that I trade when I look at the option pairs. And again, the option pairs I look at Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, I trade them the exact same way. You know, everything is the same thing. The same thing I'm looking for on every pair. I'm looking for the same shit. I'm looking for the same moves. I mark them up the same way. The analysis is the same way. Market dub done. Can we trust in sales right now? Not really, because what I was explaining a little bit earlier, Jay. Like, yes, we have the valid breaks that we wanted to see, which is good, right? But right now, where are we? You know, you guys in the chat could ask this. Um, Before I go, could you perhaps take a look at Dram and give me your thoughts on its move? What's Dram? Is it a crypto or what is it specifically? Um, it's stock. Gotcha. So right now, like when we're looking at market structure, it's an ETF. Gotcha. Where are we with these? On like you know, where are we on US 30? Where are we with NQ or NAS 100? Right, we're at the lower low. So again, you just gotta ask yourself the question before you take a trade. You gotta ask yourself the question: is it high probability or low probability, based on where you're at with market structure, right? And right now, yeah, we have the valid break, which is what we wanted to see. That's the first thing we wanted to see, to have a strong bias that price is gonna go lower. But do you want to take a trade when you're taking short positions, right? And you know market structure is lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? Do you want to take a trade going short? Do you want to take a trade at the lower low, or would you rather wait for price to give you a lower high to then take the short positions at the lower high? That's a question for you guys in the chat. I'll give you 30 seconds to answer that in the chat. Would you rather take a short position at a lower low, or would you rather take that short position at a lower high? Does it matter what server? I'm assuming is this one right here. All right, Jay says lower high. Jorhu, am I saying that correctly? Jorhu? You're saying lower high as well. The first one, gotcha. Um, Short the lower high position, exactly, Chris. Um, Lower high if you're playing the dips, exactly. Right. So right now, when we're looking at market structure, where are we? We have lower low, lower high, lower low. Saying doorway with a doorway. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Right. So right now, the fact that US 30, right? Where are we? We're at a lower low. So that's it. Am I looking? Would it be a high probability trade to take? Even though, again, we have the valid break of the lows and we have a short bias, yes. But is it a high probability trade to take a short position when price is sitting at a lower low? No. Because, again, how many times have you guys taken a trade where, to put it in perspective, you take this trade thinking, oh, you know, I'm going to place my stop loss here. We have to go lower, right? How many times have you taken a trade like this where price goes straight to your stop loss and then goes into the direction that you wanted price to go to? How many times has that happened to you guys? Or has this ever happened to you guys? TJ, thank you for the like, thank you for the like and for the follow. I appreciate it, my brother. All right, has this ever happened to you guys? I'll give you guys 20 seconds in the chat to answer that question. Multiple times in the beginning stages of demo, right? Which is usually when it happens, right? In the beginning of your trading, because you don't really understand structure. Like, yeah, you could see the entry, so you take it anyway, but you took it without really understanding why it wasn't the best place to take a trade, right? So again, like the reason why a lot of traders, and we see it all the time, right? You could go into any TikTok stream and you'll see that this happens to everybody who trades because they don't really see that, right? Why would I take a short position at a lower low? Again, could I get lucky and see price continue to fall? Absolutely. Absolutely, you could get lucky. But again, I'm not trying to get lucky, right? I'm trying to be able to take a repeated setup every single time I'm on the charts that I know is going to work out 99% of the time. I hope that made sense. So again, yes, I have the valid breaks on the 30-minute. Yes, I have the valid breaks on the 5-minute. However, we're trading at a lower low. And the fact that we're trading at a lower low, again, market structure is very simple. Market structure isn't lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. Market structure is lower low, lower high. After the lower high, you're looking for another lower low. So I keep it simple. After a lower low, I'm looking for a pullback. Cool. Right? And there's so many other things to factor. Like it's 9 o'clock flat. What do we know about the 9:30 open? We know that the 9, especially when you're trading indexes, when you're trading US 30 and NAS and S&P. I'll ask you guys another question. At 9:30 open, how many times have you seen price give you a crazy candle? We're talking about a crazy wick and then, the body of the candle. Or sometimes it'll give you a crazy wick going both ways at the 9:30 open. Right? How many times have you guys seen that happen? And we could do the back test real quick. Like if you guys are, oh, I've never seen it happen. Let's do the back test. Let's look at Friday. Friday, 9:30. This green candle. It doesn't matter what position you took. You got stopped up. Going both ways. Right? 9:30 on Thursday. Look at this candle. Right? This red candle here. Look at the wick. Look at the body. Look how big that candle is. 8, this is 8:30. Right? 9:30 on Wednesday, it was just a straight red candle to the bottom. So nothing too crazy, right? You were good this day. But one good day, then you have 2 bad days. Where if you get into a trade very early or before 9:30, you're gonna get stopped out. Right? You're going to get stopped out. Look at this candle for 9:30, this green candle up here. Right? This was just all last week, every single day. Right? Every single day at 9:30, the market is going to bring volume. Is there times where the market isn't going to give you volume at 9:30? Yeah, there could be times where that happens. Very rare. But look at this green candle. So my point is, look at this candle here for Monday. Crazy candle, crazy wicks at the top, crazy wicks at the bottom. Right? Most times I open it may act crazy. Exactly. So it's also understanding like I'm not in a rush, especially trading indexes. Right? I'm not in a rush because there's certain things that we know are going to happen. Right? And even if it doesn't happen today, okay, cool. We just back tested 1 week. 1 week worth of back testing every single day, that same candle that I was just talking about. Right? That crazy wick. Look at this fucking candle on Friday at 9:30. Look how crazy this is. Imagine if something like this prints today in the next 26 minutes and we're in a position. Straight to stop loss. And this is US 30. This is a very expensive pair. It's not like we're going to be losing $20, $10. We're going to be losing hundreds of dollars. We're going to be losing thousands of dollars. Same thing with gold. So you see what I'm trying to say? Like, there's reasons why I'm patient in the charts. And I'm patient because I know these things happen. And again, if you don't know that these things happen, either because you just weren't paying attention or because the person you were learning from didn't know the information either, and you just simply don't know the information, it's very easy to be like, oh my God, I'm gonna miss the trade. Let me scramble and let me get into the trade. And oh my God, oh my God, like, yo, chill out. Drink some water. Drink some water. Calm down. Take a little breather. It's okay. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. We know how US 30, right now we're looking at US 30 specifically, right? We know how this pair reacts. Calm down a little bit. Relax. Take a step back. It's very simple. You're trading at a lower low. Why are you taking a short position? Just keep it simple. Why are you trading? Why are you entering a short position when price is at a lower low? It's the same thing. Why are you taking a long position when price is at a higher high? Right? My bad, Chris. When you get the time, could you give me your thoughts if holding DRAM for the coming days or week is a good idea? I got you. Let's go over that right now. I added it, but I got a little sidetracked. But I hope that made sense, guys. So DRAM. Let's see. So daily time frame, we don't really have a lot of information here. This is a pair. This is relatively new. So let's go to the lower time frames and we'll mark this up on the 4-hour, right? We had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Then price gave you the lower low change of character. Right? Boom, lower low, lower high. Then it gave you a lower low here. Right? So we're trading between the break, the low, and the high. So this is already where I could tell you, like, off the bat, is it a good idea to hold it for the coming days or week? Right now, where are we? Right? We're back at these highs. So understanding that and then just looking at market structure as well, we're trading in the same zone in the 30 and the 4-hour time frame, right? It depends what price does at these highs here. Right? If price comes up to these highs and just gives you an inducement, again, we're looking for the same thing. Price is either going to give you the inducement to go back down, or it's going to give you the break to continue. And what I like about stocks, right, is like you could use the gaps. And again, if you don't really understand gaps and what they are and how to use them, this isn't going to make a lot of sense, right? Because you'll be looking at this, oh, but this has a lot of gaps, correct, right? Every stock that you look at has a lot of gaps. But these gaps tell you a story. Like, gaps have to be filled in the market. Every gap in the market has to be filled, right? The question just is, when will the gap be filled? Because a gap doesn't need to be filled right away. It could take a couple days, it could take a couple weeks, it could take a couple months, right? Even for some, it could take a couple years, right? But you have at least the blueprint. Like, okay, if price breaks these highs, the target that you're looking for would be this first gap that's here, right? And then notice how these gaps are in the exact same place where you'll be connecting it with structure. Like, once price fills this gap, in order for us to know whether or not price is going to continue these pushes to the top side or if it's going to go back down, is if price breaks these highs. And then you have clean traffic again with another gap here, back to these highs, right? So you'll be looking for price to break to continue, right? Then you'll be looking for price to break to continue into these highs up here, right? And then you'll be looking for the same thing, for break to continue. And then notice how, again, clean traffic, another huge gap until these highs over here, right? For price to continue to go. Or this is where you'll see price give you the inducement to go back down, right? Or it'll give you the break to go back here. And then the same thing at these highs, price is either going to give you the break or it's going to give you another inducement to go back down. I hope that made sense. So for this, I can't really give you a full analysis because I also don't know what DRAM is. Like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what are we trading here? What is this? I don't know. But just looking at market structure, again, at least on the 4-hour, we have a change of character to the bottom side and we have a break of structure. That already kind of tells me we're in a downtrend. But again, this is also a stock that's only been active for since April of 2026. Right? So it's a little bit, this is one situation where you just need to just continue to look for structure and continue to look at what's being printed on a day-to-day basis. You have to babysit this. And GJ looks like it gave us what we were talking about earlier. This is just going to be a type 2 pattern. Right? It gave us the break, a little retest to continue, which is okay. And again, this is why also like the correlation between pairs, it used to be where GJ, if GJ is going up, then GU, like the USD pairs, are going down. That's how it used to be, right? But now we can see that GJ and GU are moving the same. It's like, So you can't really use the correlation between those pairs anymore. Retest about to happen on NAS. Let's go take a look. Jesus Plata, welcome. The only thing you have here really is just the fib retracements. Would love to see an engulfing candle or something here, but it's looking good. On the 30-minute, we have only thing I'd be careful with here on NAS is that we're still trading on the 30-minute, higher high, higher low. And price did give us a valid break of these higher highs over here. It's the one thing I'd be very careful with NAS. Where again, the thing that's kind of throwing me off, right, Shakai? What's throwing me off is how different structure looks on NAS and US 30. Because US 30 looks like it wants to short, right? S&P looks like it wants to short. But you go and you look at NAS, it doesn't look that way. NAS, we're still making higher high, higher low. So I with NAS right now, I'd be very, very, very careful taking these short positions on NAS. I'd be very careful. Again, either way, what I was saying earlier, I'm gonna wait for 9:30. Price could do whatever it wants to do right now. It could give us the retest. It could print an engulfing candle. I'm gonna wait for 9:30 because again, the fact that NAS looks like it wants to go back up, and you can see it again. We're still making higher highs and higher lows. Still making higher highs and higher lows. Right? If price, it would be a little bit different, right? Here's the way I'm thinking about this. Let's say price would have done the same thing that it did last week on Friday, where it gave us just an inducement of the high, right? It would be a little bit different. I'd be like, yeah, I have a strong feeling that this is just still gonna go down because we have an inducement. We have that reasoning behind it. However, for today, price gave us a valid break of these highs. It gave us a valid break of structure. Right? The fact that price gave us a valid break of these highs and gave us a valid higher high point, this could still be a higher low point. Let me know if that made sense, Shakai. If price would have given us an inducement of these highs, right? If it would have just been testing these highs instead of it giving a valid break, then I would have felt a little bit more comfortable being like, you know what, this is gonna go straight down because it gave us an inducement of the high. DRAM essentially provides exposure to computer memory and storage companies that are critical for AI. Gotcha. So yeah, I mean, just being a tech company, especially for I would be expecting it to continue that uptrend. But you just got to be careful because AI is getting in that weird bubble where everybody's kind of hating on it. There's a lot of lawsuits going on, and there's a whole bunch of shit. But it could be very good. It could be a decent stock to get into. That's what I was just thinking. I was looking for engulfing candles to form on a higher time frame. Yeah, like if we obviously get like a, if we could get an engulfing candle, especially on the higher time frame, that'll be like, especially here on the 4 hour, right? And it gives us that solid point of interest. Like this is where we would be looking for that to happen. It'll be a little bit of a different story, even if we could get one on the lower time frame. Oh, my neck hurts, man. Just looking left and right at the chat and shit. Um, but again, like right now, I'd just be very patient. It's Monday. We don't gotta force into anything. Right, well, we got 15 minutes for that 9:30 open, so I'll be waiting. I'm gonna wait this one out. I'm gonna wait till 9:30. We'll see what happens. Again, gold and silver right now, I'm just taking a step back from them as well. Um, we'll just keep our focus on. So if it induces the 1 minute high and make a lower high, then I'm taking shorts. Yeah. So like, let's say price. Let's go back to it real quick. So like, let's say on the 1 minute, right? Price gives you an inducement of these highs, right? Then you can start looking for those shorts. If price gives you a break, right, at this point you got to be a little patient. We still have this engulfing candle on the 1 minute, but it'll be ideally the same situation. But again, the 5 minute is giving you a clean story too. The fact that on the 5 minute is just still a change of character, we still don't have that cross between the 50 and the 200. That 5 minute is telling you a pretty big story here as well. Right, and then again, we got to be careful. Like we know we're in level 3, we're still on an uptrend. We want to see price bounce off the 50 EMA. We're still bouncing on or around the 50 EMA, so right now this is giving confirmations for all the traders right now. Whether you're taking longs or shorts, it's giving you all those confirmations right now. GJ still making higher highs and higher lows, guys. Okay, guys, any questions, let me know. Anything you guys want me to go over, any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. If you're new to the stream, I'd appreciate if you guys followed, leave a like. Also, you guys could join the Discord. Again, everything we do here is free, so if you guys want to join the Discord, you can. The link is in the bio. To those who have joined so far, I appreciate you guys. We're live every day, Monday through Friday, from 6:30 a.m. to 10:30, 11 a.m., depending on how the charts look. And yeah, any questions, just let me know. If you guys haven't liked the stream yet, please like it up. I'd appreciate it. It really does help out a lot. For right now, Dram seems to be meeting higher highs, higher lows. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be going back to US 30 in about 8 minutes. We'll go back to US 30 when the market open at 9:30. Since right now we're not really similar to NAS, like I was saying, we're pretty much just still trading at a lower low point. So with that 9:30 open, I want to see the candles that print for 9:30, and we'll see what happens from there. Yeah, the 5 minute time frame here on US 30 is where I would want to be at. We'll see what happens. And again, you can see how the market is just trapping traders, give you a fake engulfing candle straight to stop loss. You're taking a short position at a lower low for it. Don't make no sense, man. It doesn't make no fucking sense. We'll see what the market does here in 6 minutes, guys. TikTok just sent me a notification that auto posted a video. Could we not do that? Could we not do that? Like, yo, TikTok just auto posted two videos with crazy edits. That's crazy. Yeah, it just auto posted a vid, like it literally edited a video straight from the live stream, like it's something that we were just talking about now on the stream. It literally edited it and it posted it by itself. Yeah, it just did it on its own. It grabbed the recording from the stream and edited it and posted it. Insanely creepy. I mean, it's not creepy because we already know that all of this is. We already know how AI is making this a little bit easier for that to happen, so I'm not surprised. And it's a good feature, but is AI slop? I have to figure a way to how I need to. I need to be able to delete that. Like I need to. I need to be able to not allow that to happen because that is kind of crazy. Yeah, it is cool though. It is cool. As long as it helps my tram go up. Facts. Facts. Sorry, my sister called with my little baby. Um, Sorry. Apparently, Grok thinks XRP is likely to hit triple digit number before the end of 2026 because his Twitter bot. Nah, bro. Shit is crazy. No way XRP is moving that much. Yo. I'm telling you that right now. Right? No way XRP hits $3. Yo, again, unless something crazy happens. We're talking about unless something crazy happens, something has to happen for XRP to reach $3 by the end of the year. We're talking about like a crazy pump has to happen for that shit to go up to $3. I think XRP might be dead. I don't think it's dead, to be honest. Like again, the thing with XRP is there's so many people using it, and it's not even only people. Like so many corporations and banks using the network. It's just like Soul, right? At the end of the day, a crypto only has value if you use it, right? If you're not using the environment for whatever reason, then there's no use for it, right? It's just like Dogecoin. Let's go down the list of all the meme coins. Like these coins don't have value just because you're buying it and this guy's buying it and this random guy put $1 million into it. Like a market that only moves because of buyers and sellers is not a real market. Like US 30 is not moving because you and I are buying and selling US 30, right? US 30 is moving because people are using the networks and there's so much money coming in and out of not only the products that are in the US 30 market. You got what I'm saying? Like XRP has value because there's banks making transactions using the XRP network, right? Bitcoin has value because banks and corporations are using, not only are they using the environment, then you have other people like you're able to make purchases using the Bitcoin environment. People are making real life day-to-day purchases using it. That's what creates the value of it. But if you look at any meme coin, nobody's using those coins on a day-to-day basis. Nobody is doing anything with that. So that's why it's very important. Again, like it's a fun game and it's a fun game to play. But you have to understand the realistic values of it. And again, like XRP is it's being used on a day-to-day basis. Like every day is being used. More banks worldwide, not only here in the States, but worldwide are using the XRP network. Again, the same way that people use the Sol network, right? Like XRP, Sol, Ethereum, Bitcoin, those are the major cryptos because people are using them, really using them on a day-to-day basis. It's not just something that's there and it has a name and it has value because people are buying and selling every single day. Like that's not real. Those are meme coins. These cryptos that people really use, again, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, those are being used every single day. Unless Elon lands on Mars with some humans, I don't think it's happening. No, no way, bro. Unless Elon and Trump both tweet out, saying, "Yo, buy XRP right now." Like that shit is not moving. I promise you, it's just not moving that fast. So again, imagine if you would have taken these short positions at the lower lows, straight to stop loss, straight to drawdown. All right, GJ is just still pushing up, so we'll turn this shit off. We'll keep an eye on NAS real quick. Same thing with NAS. Like you take these trades very early and straight to stop loss. Just getting trapped in and out of the trades. Right, so we at least know we're trading between lower low, lower high, and these lower lows over here. Let's look at gold real quick too. Gold and the woman, and we're still in the same these highs and these lows. It's gonna be a today's the day in the chart where we just gotta be a little patient. Just wait for this to shape up just a little bit better. So today's that is gonna be that day for me where I'm just gonna focus on US 30 for the next 30 minutes. Everything else, I'm just gonna. We've detected suspicious activity might violate. Like I got what trading platform we're using? I'm using TradingView. This is to look at this chart is TradingView. I got restricted again on TikTok, dude. I gotta figure this out. Like, why do they keep doing this? It's so annoying, man. You guys on TikTok, you guys can still hear me or what? Let me know. I got restricted again, so I'm not gonna get any new viewers for the next couple minutes until my appeal gets approved. What you get banned for? It's not banned. It's just restricted. Like it happens. It's been happening every single stream. Like I got restricted today for integrity and authenticity violation, but it doesn't tell me anything else. So like I don't know. And like again, it's just for this current. So it's not like they ban me forever for like the next. It's only for this one, right? And I'm able to appeal it. And like what happened a couple of days ago, like once you appeal it, it takes like a couple minutes for them to go over it and then pretty much get your account back to regular. But then I would have to turn the stream off and turn it back on. So I don't know why they keep restricting the stream. I don't know if somebody's just hating and they're just reporting my account, like reporting the stream. I'm not sure why that keeps happening, but it is what it is. I'm hungry. Then here on the 1 minute. Oh, I'm sorry. You getting into anything PA a little choppy on lower time frame? Right now, I'm just kind of waiting it out. On the 1 minute, it looks like price wants to kind of turn around here. So I'm just kind of waiting it out to see what exactly price wants to do. Um, I don't have anything clear. Again, I don't have nothing clean, nothing clear. If we go down to the 1 minute, I'm gonna be looking at these highs, trying to see what price is gonna do. But if we use the same structure, right? If we go back to what we had from last week, right? We had let's just mark this up, right? So we can know where we're at and all that. Um, we have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, and then lower low, lower high, lower low, all the way. Then we have low, lower high, lower low. Then we had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, low. Crazy wicks here, right? And then we had high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. Back to where we're at now. Low in those big ass highs. Could we get away with marking this as low, high, low, and then say all of this? High, low, lower high, low, inducement, lower low, right? And then we have low, lower high, lower low. Then we have a change of character, higher high, higher low. Then we have a higher high. So I'll be looking for pretty much waiting to see what price wants to do here in the 1 minute. I can't have this on right now. My head is like killing me. I need to buy like earbuds. I can't use headphones anymore. Um, we have the change of character higher high, higher low. And we're looking at these highs over here. There's two things here to really look at. We have an engulfing candle here on the 1 minute, but again, this is all low probability for buys until we get a valid break of these highs. Right now, we still have the inducement. Right, we have an engulfing candle here that price retested and then went straight up. Then we have another engulfing candle that printed right after that. Right, that's right here for the buy positions. But again, all of these buys are low probability until we get a valid break of these highs over here. So we're either going to get those valid breaks to continue, or this is where we could look for that short position, right, at the retest, because this is technically the retest. This is technically the pullback of the lower high point to go into the lower low. And we have 2 minutes for this engulfing candle to print on the 5 minute if price decides to want to print an engulfing candle. So my bias is still short, but I'm just keeping it updated, right? So we could see, so we could look for what we want to see at this point. If price could give us those inducements of the highs and then give us an engulfing candle going short, especially on the 1 minute, like if we could get an engulfing candle here on the 1 minute, that'd be perfect. You think TikTok lifted my restriction or what? Let's see. Nope, not yet. Joey, sorry, my bad. I was scrolling through Twitter. How's life going? It's going good, man. I can't complain. Days on the charts like these are a little boring, but it's all part of the game. It's part of trading, man. I can't really. There's nothing else I can say about that. But other than that, I'm chilling. I can't complain. I've been doing good. Here on the 5 minute, price did not give us a good engulf. Did it? Let me see. Small little engulfing. Scrolling away, waiting for an opening. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for the same. Trying to see if the market wants to give us a little opportunity today. What percent of your account do you use when entering a trade? It really depends on the entry itself, like how many, what the stop loss is, where the desired stop loss is, and the probability of the trade. Like if it's an impulse trade, if it's something that I'm doing just to say fuck it to take a little trade, I'll risk less. But usually I'm risking 10 to 15% per trade. Right now I'm risking basically all since I have a small account. Again, I can't really say for your instance if it's smart or not, just because I don't know your skill set that you have in trading, right? If and then also your financial situation. Like if losing the account really isn't something too crazy, like if you could just continue to deposit or you could continue to buy prop firms and it doesn't hurt you and that's how you want to do it, then by all means do you. Um if you're somebody who can't afford doing that, then obviously, it's not really that smart. But again, it really just depends. Just that I can't answer that question for you since I don't really that's a question you have to ask yourself. It's a pretty simple answer. Like if you're doing it and you could afford it and the way you're doing it is like you're still learning and it is what it is, that's your cost of doing business at the end of the day, then you could then do it that way. But if it's something where you're losing money and you can't continue to lose money because you can't afford that, then I would say the best thing to do is just open up a demo account and just paper trade until you're comfortable, until you're confident enough in your trades, and then you start trading with your live account. And then, at that point, once you understand a little bit more and you have a little bit more information, then you could start flipping that small account, based on the trades that you're taking. That's honestly the best thing I could really say. My appeal is still in progress. What's STP for today? I didn't even calculate this. 629 minus 33% is 421. 421. That's a great point. Not gonna lie. I've already been up for 5 hours. I'm over it. I don't want to keep seeing this candlesticks print, man. What time is it? 10 o'clock. I'm gonna give this till. Got no news today. I'm gonna give this till about like 10:15. 10:15. I don't really. We don't really get anything. Then I'm done for the day. We'll be back tomorrow. Price is now just sitting here, just moving super slow, man. And again, for a Monday, the market's open, and there's not a lot of volume. 9:30 didn't give us no volume really. On top of the fact that we have no volume and we also have no news, gonna be a pretty boring Monday. Might be the new FX Alex G. Yo, Kendall. Yeah, it's funny you say that shit, yo. I don't want to be the new FX Alex G, yo. I just want to be me. I just want to be me. Yo, Kendall, you hearing this shit? Kendall says, "Oh yeah, yeah, dude, please no, I don't. I want to just be me, man. I respect Alex, though. I respect Alex. He's dope. He's funny. But please, we're in two different categories, yo. I promise. I don't wanna. I don't wanna. He called you as FX Alex G. Nah, bro. Look, he got it, yo. He got it. He got it. You are from Florida. I am from Florida. From Florida. Nah, bro. Listen. He got it, yo. He got it. He got it. He's gonna. You guys are gonna make these jokes. He's gonna hear this someday. He's gonna be tweeting at me or DMing me. I say, show me your account. Show me your statement. Show me your bank account. I'm good, bro. Like you sell courses for thousands of dollars. You, I swear, you're way richer than me. I promise. You sell courses for thousands and thousands of dollars. I swear, you got money, bro. You're good. I don't need that in my life, yo. One thing I will say though, yo, just don't forget though, yo, the way to really learn how to trade is just set and forget, yo. Take a trade and close your screen. You don't gotta do nothing else. Yeah. I would much rather you compare me to Q Banks, you know. I'm not gonna say a lot, but I would much rather you compare me to Q Banks than fucking FX Alex G, yo. I don't want to be compared to FX Alex G. I don't want to be compared to Lambo Raul. I don't want to be compared to any of those guys, man. They're richer than me. I swear to God. You might be the new Q Banks. There you go. There you go. There you go. I like that. And that one is a lot better. He's also from Florida. I'm from Florida. I could be the new Q Banks. That I could mess with. Alex Hormozy? Who's that? I want to be that old guy that works at Wall Street. It's like this old guy that's been there for years. And I saw him again recently. Some chick that was in the she was in the top of the leaderboards for the trading cup. She took a picture with him. I was so jealous. I'm like, damn, bro. I gotta go to Wall Street. I gotta go take a picture with the guy. Fucking legend. I had to take a piss. So bad. Einstein of Wall Street. Is that the guy's name? As a matter of fact, you say Alex. Let me see, Alex or Moses. This is the guy that we're talking about. Co-founder of School.com. Oh, nah, that's not the guy I'm talking about. Nah, there's an old guy that works at Wall Street. I don't know what his name is. I forgot. But that girl, that lady, not a girl. She's like 40 something, bro. She a grown ass woman. She took a picture with him like last week. She got invited to go to Wall Street. She took a picture with the guy. Like, that's fire. You see, if you take these trades early, you're straight to stop loss, man. You gotta just be patient. Gotta be patient. Wait it out, guys. Wait for the confirmations to be given. And then you take the trade. God, at this again, I'm pretty much just gonna wait till 10:15. I'm not gonna. And you look at it again, it's crazy how the indexes are all moving differently, yo. This is some shit you won't see again in your lifetime. Like, completely different. I'm just talking about, like, yo, there's so much volume that just came in for no reason. NASA just it's NASA drowning while US 30 is fucking flying. NAS came down, gave us the inducement of the low here, came up. Kind of still retesting the area, but nothing clean. Like, nothing where we could sit here and be like, yeah, this was the position to take. There was none of that right now. We just gotta wait it out. And then NASA's falling and US 30 is flying for some reason. It's insane. But any questions, guys, before we finish and wrap this up? Again, I'm pretty much done trading for the day, so any questions, anything you guys want me to go over? Anything you guys want me to talk about, let me know. Any specific pair you want me to go over, give my analysis on, let me know. If not, then that's pretty much it, guys, and we'll be back again tomorrow morning with the same thing, the live trading session. We'll turn the stream on at 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Once we turn the stream on, we'll update our charts, get ready for the trading session in the morning. And we'll pretty much do the same thing we did today. We'll mark up our charts, talk about it. We'll go over everything we need to go over. And then hopefully tomorrow. I didn't talk about this today because I completely forgot, but it was something that I saw earlier when I was looking at the news for the week. We don't really have any news for this week. We have FOMC on Wednesday, I believe. Let me pull it up. Yeah, on Wednesday at 2 o'clock. So the same thing I was explaining last week, right? And then that's the only news we have for the week is Wednesday. So usually, especially FOMC, especially high impact, the reason we're seeing price move slow, right, slower than usual on these indexes is because we have FOMC at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. The probability of price not moving today and the probability of price not moving tomorrow and the market just waiting for FOMC to hit to then bring in that volume for the week on Wednesday, right? To finish the week Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, that's most likely what's going to happen. So if you go and you look today, ADR and STP might not even be hit with US 30 today. Tomorrow, it might be the same. If that happens today and that happens tomorrow, that news at 2 p.m. is going to be crazy. Very crazy. So just be aware of that. Take notes that I said this because I don't want you guys to come back, oh, he's talking in hindsight. All right. Right? Keep that in mind and make sure you guys just, again, we have that news on Wednesday. Just take it day by day. Again, at this point, it's 10 o'clock. The market is really only has one more time to move, especially for the indexes. Anywhere between 12 and 3 o'clock or 12 and 2:30. If no more volume comes into the charts during that time, then that's pretty much it. Um, but yeah, for those people in the chats, both on TikTok and on YouTube, any questions, let me know. I'll give you guys another 30 seconds in the chat. Any questions, any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, anything you guys want me to explain or talk about again, let me know. If you guys are watching and you haven't followed yet, please, please, please make sure you hit the follow button. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you guys like the stream a little bit too. I would appreciate it. I'm live Monday through Friday here on both on TikTok and on YouTube. 6:30 a.m. till 10:30, 11 a.m. is when I stream. You guys can join the Discord. The link is in the bio. Anything else you guys want me to go over, let me know. You think US 30 will keep going up? Not right now. Again, right now, US 30 is still making lower lows and lower highs. Right? So my bias is still shorts until we're told otherwise. Right? We just got that valid break this morning. Right? Again, we're trading. This is where we're trading. We had the lower low, lower high, right? And price gave us the valid break down here into these lower lows. So what I think US 30 is gonna do is just give us the lower high, and we'll most likely sit in these lower highs until maybe tomorrow, right? And then in these lower highs is where we would want to start looking to take those trades to go back down into the lower lows. This is pretty much what I'm expecting US 30 to do. Pretty much what I had drawn out here. Now, for the bias to switch, the only way I'll be looking for buys, if my bias to switch to for buy positions for longs, is if price breaks these highs over here. If price breaks these longs over here, then I'll be like, okay, we could turn this around and start saying that we're gonna start looking for buy positions if we break above these highs here. But until then, I'm still short. I'm still on a short bias. Because again, we are still trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Any other questions, guys? Let me know. We good? It's pretty much again the end of the stream, so I'll be back again tomorrow morning, guys. Any other questions? Anything else you guys want me to go over? Let me know before I leave. Speak now or forever hold your peace, or whatever it is that they say. What is it? Is that what they say? You guys will see you next live. All right, perfect. Appreciate you for being here, Joy. Have a good rest of your day. And everybody else, Roderick, appreciate you. Chris, appreciate you. Chikai, Kendall, everybody else who was joined in here. Appreciate you guys. Joel, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Both Chris's, because I think we have two Chris's now here. Suave, Jay, appreciate you guys. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace out.